not settled until I've done it right. I split my head open last night. What's up, wrestling fans? It's Out of Nowhere. We got Jake DeMarco in the house. Yeah, baby, it's a wacky Thursday night. We're getting ready for the WWE Royal Rumble. Vincent McMahon is shaking and he's just ready for it. He's so ready for it, it's unbelievable. We're ready to go, man. We got ads playing. We got everything going on here. We got everything rolling for the Royal Rumble preview that's coming up. We got audio problems that I'm working on right now that I've almost fixed. We got people coming in the chat who are just naughty. We got some real naughty people in the chat right now. Are you all ready? Who's in the chat right now and you're kind of feeling naughty at this point? If you're in the chat and you're feeling naughty, give me the 69. Give me the 69. Listen, I was late because I was reading to my kids, okay? I was reading bedtime stories to my kids, and it went longer than I thought. I was having so much fun that, I didn't even realize it. I was having so much fun, I didn't realize time was flying by. And plus then I got all these security measures I got to go through now because of all the crazy people on the internet. People attack me every second, and, just people won't leave me alone. It's like, leave me alone, bro. Can you leave me alone already, bro? Why don't they leave me alone, We're about to start it up, everybody in the chat. Get ready, get wet. Hit that like button. DeMarco's in hell, I feel so did you. I feel so did Darby. Yeah, they're coming after Darby. They're saying he's racist. What I came before, I felt the racist. I want more. Oh, I'm not settled until I've done it alright. I split my head last night. I fell into racism. No, I don't know, man. Listen, people did attack him hard today. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that. But we did talk about it the other day. Somebody asked me why don't we talk about that. We did talk about it the other day, and I was like, nah, man, we're not even going to go into it. I'm going to wait till things come out more, and, then we can talk about that. It just seems weird. I don't know. I don't understand it. I came from death. I'm dead. I'm torn up flesh. I painted my face white, then it turned out red. I ain't for nothing, and nothing is where I return. You lit a match, now watch it burn. Oh, I fell. Oh, I fell. It's the WWE Royal Rumble. It's coming up this Sunday. Jake DeMarco, I can see his erection from here. It's so big. It's so frothing. Oh, yeah. My God, is it large? My God, is it large? Why is it so big, Jake? Oh, my God, Jake DeMarco, why is it so big? I think we figured out all the audio problems. This is Out of Nowhere. Jake DeMarco is the co-host. He has the biggest privates in the entire YWC. You wouldn't believe it. So hit the like button because we're going to talk about it. AEW ratings, are they crashing down? When it comes crashing down, the ratings come crashing down. When WWE Raw's ratings come crashing down. When WCW doesn't come back from the dead. It's crazy. It's out of nowhere. And finally, after all this delaying, I've got all the audio to work the right way. Let's go! What's up, everybody? Hope everybody gets wet. Yeah, maybe. It took me a while to figure that out. It was all problems on my end. It was nothing that anybody... You guys could all hear me. It's just I was having problems with something, so I figured it out. It's wet. And now I've got Jake unmuted. And what's going on, baby?
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you talk. I had to listen to the stream. Couldn't hear shit.
Really? I didn't do anything different.
No, it's just anytime you play music, it just goes shh, shh, shh the whole time.
What?
Yeah, I can't hear shit for any type of audio you play. It just keeps coming in and out.
What the fuck? Are you serious? What? Now that's a whole different thing. That's not at all what I was dealing
like
with.
It used to do, where it used to cut out terribly or come in pieces. That's what it was doing. So anytime you're playing music, I couldn't hear you.
That doesn't make sense. What the fuck? All my Discord says I'm hooked up the right way. What the fuck is going on? What?
Gotta love it. Royal Rumble, everybody. We're getting into it. That's right. We got the 2021 Royal Rumble coming this Sunday. And as we file through all these technical issues, we have, quite a big card coming up. I mean, as much as they did close to nothing to really book this thing, every year the Rumble somehow has surprises that makes it worthwhile. There's a reason why this is my favorite pay-per-view usually. Now, we've had some bad Rumbles, previous years, but last year's was excellent.
Hey, wait a second. Could the stream hear the music?
Yes. It worked fine.
Really? That's so weird. All right, I figured out the problem then. Okay. That would have been wicked funny if the stream couldn't have heard the music.
Yeah, I made sure they could hear it. That's how I heard everything.
But how hilarious would it have been if I was sitting there like singing all these weird things while delaying?
And that's why I would have let you know.
And it's just me going, and people are just like, what the hell is he doing?
You know how it used to be on Skype where it comes up where it's just all garbled and you can't hear with music? It was doing that again.
It should work now. I figured
out what it was. Should be good now. I just heard it play a second ago. So there we go. But yeah, we've got this, big weekend. And then obviously leading into next week, we've got Beach Break for AEW. We've got the ratings in, some backstage conversations, plans for the Rumble. It's going to be a big night for Out of Nowhere. That's for sure.
There's a lot of stuff going on. None of it's good for anybody right now. These ratings that have come in, none of the ratings are good for anybody, I don't think.
Well, NXT's went up by quite a bit. I mean, they certainly drew in well over close to, almost 100,000 viewers. So they went from 659 to 720. So they're happy about that. AEW, on the other hand, dropped over 120,000 viewers. So that's not great.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tale of two shows. But, I mean, NXT is happy. But I'm kind of confused as to what NXT did to warrant the increase in viewership, because all they had last night, there was really no story to it. It was just matches. It was all, Dusty Classic, pretty much. That's what the main focus on the show felt like. So maybe just because they started off AEW with the issues with TNT, so people just immediately stuck with NXT. That's the only thing I can think of. Because there was no benefit of watching NXT over AEW this week.
Yeah, I don't
usually
understand
people. The only time we've seen in the past where NXT gets an increase, or if they get something, they beat AEW, it's a special. It's Halloween Havoc. It's Bash at the Beach. Things like that. This is not one of those weeks. So for them to get such a massive increase, I was just perplexed by it. So,
I don't know. I think it's a lot of little things. I don't know this, but I'm just guessing a lot of little things. I'm guessing, people didn't really, some people didn't enjoy the AEW the week before.
Yes, maybe that pushed people into NXT as well. I'm just saying that it's surprising because,
but also
NXT
the
heavily advertises.
The first 18, like the whole show was screwed up.
Well, that's what I mentioned. That's why I said I wonder if that helped push people into.
I'm telling you that people. We all said this the night it happened. Oh, well, this is going to affect the ratings because people are going to tune over to NXT and be like, well, I guess I'll catch AEW later. And
it just doesn't seem like they tuned back in, and they probably just caught it after the fact, on
that's
YouTube, or they DVR'd it. It seems like that's what happened. So that mess up cost them possibly, wait
a minute. Are these ratings counting YouTube, TV, and all that stuff, or are these just?
No, these are just Nielsen viewers.
Oh,
but
then it doesn't matter.
It goes into effect with, no, because TNT itself was affected too in certain spots.
Really? Okay.
So
wait
TNT
a minute.
itself was down. TNT Relay was down for several locations.
But I thought that you said you saw the whole thing.
Yeah, I was lucky on Comcast. Other service providers had no TNT broadcast access, so it was an outage through TNT themselves.
Okay, well then definitely, yeah. If that's the case, then definitely, yeah. That's what it is. That's a major reason.
That's why they had to post the entire opening in the match on YouTube to make up for it, and they outright apologized for the issue.
Dude, it's the same thing with this show tonight. Like, I was busy. I was reading my kid's bedtime story, and they just wanted another one, and I lost track of time, and I was reading it, and then I got done. When I got done reading it, I closed the book at 10:58. And I was like, oh, my God, and I ran down here to get everything started. I hadn't even set anything up yet. So that's why I'm late, and it's 11:39 right now. We really just getting in the groove now. Otherwise, normally if I'd started this show at 11 o'clock on the dot, we'd have probably 600 people watching. There's no doubt in my mind that some people decided, you know what, Jesus, he's just going to take forever, or like, never mind, or it's too late now, just whatever. I guarantee that I lost 100 to 200 viewers tonight based on a late start. And it's just true. So even just a little late start, because I do it too. Don't you hate when someone on YouTube uploads and it's an upload for tomorrow, like live tomorrow, and you're like, oh, cool. And then you're like, oh, tomorrow? Like, fuck. Like, oh my God, I thought they had a video out. And it's the same thing when someone says, oh, look, starting in 2 minutes. And you're like, all right, I'll wait around because it's in 2 minutes. I guess I'll wait. And then they don't start, and then they don't start, and then they don't start. And you go, and within 5 minutes, you decide, fuck this. Like 20% say, never mind. So when I'm late, like I am tonight, it hurts me really badly. So like this, no doubt about it, 18 minutes not working, people don't have that attention span at this point. They're like, I could be doing something else. Unless you're like nothing else to do, and this is your life. You could have tuned out, or you left it on, hope for the best, or you tried again later. I don't know, but there's a lot of people that go, you know what, forget this. I'll go take my shower now, or you know what, the kids wanted something, and I'm going to go do it now, or fuck, I'm going to cook something, whatever. So I will give that, I'll give them a slight mulligan, because I would expect you to lose 50 to 100,000 people based on what happened the other day, and that's about what happened. So
that's pretty much what happened. So
yeah, so I'm not too worried about this, but it was just a colossal botch by whatever.
Yeah. So
can you remember a time where a show was down like this, like a Raw or something, where like it wasn't on the air for more than fucking 2 minutes? Can you remember an outage like this?
I know there was a sports outage not that long ago, but I'm trying to remember for what.
Not for wrestling. Like the only thing,
not for wrestling I can think of.
Beware of Dog and the WCW stuff when they went off, where they had to go off the air on pay-per-view, but I don't remember like, does anybody remember cable going
Beware
out?
of Dog, because the generators wouldn't come back up, right? They couldn't get the feed with the power being out.
Right.
Wasn't the arena like all dark and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was that. And no, I can't think of anything. I know there was a storm once WWE had, but they got their backup stuff up quick, so it was only like seconds down. And the network had an outage when it first started, so people couldn't see one of the pay-per-views for quite a bit of time. But nothing like this, not on cable.
Not on a cable. Yeah, I just don't remember a cable show. I mean, Christ, even when they had the blizzard and they had to shoot from Connecticut and they did all those weird things.
Yeah, and then we got SmackDown. That was right after the Rumble.
Yeah.
And 2015, and then we didn't end up being able to go to Raw, so they did the Raw in the Stamford offices, and then they had SmackDown that Thursday live instead. So,
well, I think it's I think this might be history made. I mean, not that you want this type of history, but it's a very Jesus. Like I'm just anybody. I'm waiting. Like Halloween Havoc '98 says Media One. I agree. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that one ran over, so people didn't get to see the ending.
But again, that's also different because it's a pay-per-view and it's like they ran out of time. It's not like they had a technical issue where. Now I feel like there were outages locally. Like at one point, like all the West Coast isn't seeing Raw right now. There's a down. Like I feel like that did happen at some point, but somebody would have to bring that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. When a YouTuber's late, I just go watch 5 to 10 more minutes. Leaping Lizard. Yeah, no, I think that's good. That's kind of what I do too. Leaping Lizard, I check back with him, but no doubt that you don't stick around too long. You know what I mean? Because you're like,
well, you answered your own question though just by saying that you leave, and then even if you do intend on coming back, maybe not everybody does make it back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of it too.
Yeah, you don't want to.
If you are leaving and coming back, you're not waiting. That's the point.
You don't want to break up the flow. Colonel Stutters. Oh no, it's Colonel Santos. I always get those two confused. What's up, Colonel Santos? I still don't know why this is playing at the $3 spot, but I'll figure it out eventually, guys. I had to reset all the donos from scratch because I deleted my app by accident. UFC had audio problems, yeah.
Colonel Santos tipped $3.
What's up,
Did you
Santos?
just donate to Joe? Did you just donate to Joe? Hell yeah, take my pants off. Hooey hoo hooey. Casey the interim champion, watch out, only a matter of time till that belt gets coated in froggy cum, dripping down into your mouth, champ.
Whoa.
Putungina Mo.
Good God. Colonel Santos, Christ. Yeah, congratulations to the Monetize This champion. Casey is Raw. He'll be donning it tonight for the first time this week on the show, so that will be very nice to see Casey hold up that belt. And speaking of holding up a belt, why don't you hold up your pants, because...
Hey Joe, I have a question. You promote your Patreon and promise members 30 hours of bonus content a month. This month seems unlikely to hit that goal.
I think we'll hit it.
Are you going to do anything to make up for this, such as lowering expectations for your audience?
No, I think that February, I went on a rant about this the other day. I said this on Monetize This, I think. Monetize This or Corrupted. I said, man, January was a miss. We really had a lot of lower content on Patreon this January. By the way,
there were still a lot of shows, though. I mean, Off the Rails was on there. You and I had some podcasts. And on top of it, you also had massive main channel stuff that happened, like Monetize This 300. I mean, there was a couple of shows that were 7 hours, 5 hours. I mean, there was a lot of
we did
in
hit
between shows, too.
The hours we did hit because Corrupted's been about 3 to 4 hours a week.
Exactly.
So
as I'm saying, things have been
3, 6, 9, 12, and then me and Jake did 2 2s, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's like we're right now we're straddling the about 20 hours right now. So we're about 10 hours shy. So when you add the bonus show that we'll do this week, yeah, it'll be close to that. But I actually went on a rant about this on Monetize This and on it was either Corrupted or Monetize This that I went on a rant about this. And I said that, February we're launching a bunch of new stuff. So February you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. Now, that being said, Off the Rails looks like 40 views so far. So this is a shitload of people that haven't even watched Off the Rails yet. So I wonder if people
that newest episode, that was really good. So.
And about 50 people watched me and Jake's 2-hour podcast. So there's a lot of people that just didn't even watch the content. So I don't know what's going on there. But me and Jake did 2 hours. It's up on Patreon. Off the Rails is up with Jesse and Drew. And then there's a couple other things coming. But February, we're really launching all the new stuff. So that's what I said. I said, hey, man, January was probably one of the slowest, weakest months ever, or in the last 3 years. So, I actually brought this whole thing up the other day. I don't know if you heard me and copied me and just wanted to donate that because I said that the other day, or what. I don't know. Or if you're dead serious. And you just didn't know. And if that's the case, well, actually, yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I'm like, well, it's a little
still donating from a concerned fan. So there we go.
Yeah, but it could just be a troll bag, being like, oh, but it's like, like I said, I actually said this the other day on my show. So
yeah, you got to take them at face value.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I bring things up, people then latch on. I think I bring things up and then people latch onto it and tell trolls about it, and then they all talk about things and then they go, oh, because whenever I bring something up, I notice this. I bring things up and then somebody else they go and basically so somebody that doesn't like me hears from a troll who hears from me that I said something factual. So then they go to somebody who doesn't like me and say, did you know that Joe only did 20 hours of Patreon content last month? And then that guy runs away with oh, Joe's fucking whatever. But it's like, nobody's done as much Patreon content as me. Nobody's done this much Patreon content that doesn't have a crazy huge channel. The Patreon is nuts.
Even then they offer a podcast.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
One of the shows that I listened to, they started a podcast and it was $15 for a once a month thing. I was like, holy Christ. For a 1 hour show.
I know. It's weird, man. Because I'm a patron of a lot of people, and I was hitting up this one group, and I'm like, dude, I'll blow you guys if you do extra stuff. The only thing they have on their thing is their pre-notes before they go live. They put 5 minutes up. But they don't really, I don't know, I was like, dude, if you guys did because I'm a $2 patron of theirs, and I'm like, listen, if you guys do an extra show or an extra hour, because they do one show a week and I crave it. They do a 2 hour show one time a week and I crave it. And if they told me that they would do an extra show that's an hour long, like 3 days later they did an extra little hour, I'd pay $5-10. I'd go up to $5 or $10. I'd be like,
yeah, there's a lot of people that would do that.
Yeah, so I'm telling them directly here's what I would like, and they still just kind of do the whole well, we give you credit and we put out an extra 3 minutes. But I'm like, man, an extra 3 minutes is nothing. I was like, oh my God, put out an hour. Anyway, whatever. We're talking about wrestling. We got to get back to wrestling.
So,
there's a lot of ratings.
Before we get into and all that stuff, getting AEW out of the way, we already talked about the ratings. And remind me of a little out of breath. I still keep vomiting. It's been a fun day. So work with me as I slur through my words here. But we have Beach Break this Wednesday, and it's a hell of a stacked card. It's like a pay-per-view in its own right. It just keeps getting better. Now today they added another match. They added Kingston versus Archer. So they're having a rematch, but it's going to be a lumberjack match. So that sounds pretty badass. Sign me up for those two facing off again. I mean, we saw Kingston beat Archer with their use of the brass knuckles the other day, so what's going to be, up his sleeve when he's got everybody surrounding at ringside. Then we also have the tag team battle royal going on to determine who will face the Young Bucks. If the Young Bucks win, then they go ahead and get to pick their opponents. We have the wedding of Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. So Miro will be there with his new young boy Chuck, and we'll see what happens with him being the best man. Then we have Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa. They're finally going to have their match that we've been waiting for that's been delayed. Then we have Lance Archer, as I mentioned, Eddie Kingston, and Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. So the Real Elite, I don't know, versus John Moxley, Ray Phoenix, and Pac. That's going to be a hell of a six-man tag. So it just sounds like a real, Dynamite episode of Dynamite. To sound as cliche as possible, it does. Sounds like it's going to be a good time. Already, you've got 3 really, really good matches on there.
Are they at a beach? Are they actually at the beach? No,
beach? They're just going to decorate Daly's place.
Oh, really? Man, I kept thinking for some reason that they were really going to a beach.
They originally had plans, obviously, to be on location for all these things. They're supposed to be at the Jericho Cruise as of last week or the week before again this year. Yeah. How upsetting is that to think that, last year at this time, we saw MJF getting thrown into a pool and, things were so much different. So it's hard to believe that we've been without fans for almost a year at this point in time.
I mean, it could be worse, man. It could be, not to be weird or anything but I mean, it could be it could be like the real plague, like the plague. Like it could be like, dude, it could be that people are, puking their brains out and throwing up in the streets and falling over everywhere and, freaking out. Like it could be like, this could have been something that, just think about it, everybody. This could have been something that actually killed 30% of the entire population. Think about that. If it had been 30%,
yeah.
Like, I mean, if that was the case, dude, we'd be in our houses, I don't know
forever.
How much, 3 to 5 more years at least. You'd have to at least say 3 to 5 more years of being in your house. And that'd be different because you'd be seeing so many people die and it'd be chaos. So like you wouldn't question it as much. You question this because it's like, 0.18 or 1.5 or less or whatever. But it's like, dude, imagine if it was 30% a super virus. Oh my God, dude! Like this better. Like if there's not teams in every country now, like real teams, not like teams like we saw with this, but real fucking teams, like working on a real pandemic situation.
Yeah, pandemic response teams that we were supposed to have already. Yeah,
like for the future. Like I mean, but the problem is it like never happens or it rarely happens. So we basically treat it as like, we deal with it when it happens. What's the point? And that's. It's understandable. It's the same reason why you're like, why aren't there parachutes in planes for everybody? And because they're just like, this is unlikely it's going to happen. But you could have saved everybody if everybody had a parachute maybe, or you could have saved 70% of the plane if the roof could blow off and everybody could be strapped to something and then have like fucking parachutes and escape pods or something. But it's like they never would do that. So it's like you're just dead. You're just fucked.
Yeah.
You just deal with it when it happens.
Going back to TNT being down as well, Gongcast said before, it's going to be Jericho's fault. You'll see on BTE next week, Jericho was practicing his lion salt and botched and destroyed the network feed, At least that they have something with it. But yeah, thankfully it's not that killer of a virus. If it was worse, think about where we'd be. And the big FP in the chat said, penis enlargement pills make me feel way better than watching Raw. Yeah, Blue Chew all the way, my friend. I'd rather be hard than soft, and Raw makes you very soft.
My question is this going to be like weed for me, where if I take Blue Chew, am I going to start like becoming paranoid? Like, because I think like anything, like if I take Blue
just cheat
Chew,
on Leah. I think that's all.
I'd cheat on Leah. I'd just go running around the neighborhood looking for women, like a psycho.
Looking for guys. You'd be that hard that no woman could satisfy you. You'd need that tight of an asshole.
I'd need a man's bungus. Like,
you'd need the man's grip. No lube.
It's so weird.
You become a shit bomb.
It's Mr. Spaz Phoenix.
Cheap plug. Me Guapo and Sexy Jake talking all things Royal Rumble tomorrow after SmackDown. It's better than a 2021 GameStop stock.
Hell yeah, do it up. Tomorrow night, Spaz Phoenix podcast. But I don't know, man. Listen, I bought AMC the other day, and just to see if I could. I just bought AMC just to see if they would let me. Because if they wouldn't let me, I was going to freak out on like TD Ameritrade and everybody. Man, I'll tell you what. This is for
paranoid with a raging heart on. That's the way to be.
It's for another show, but
trees and everything. Absolutely.
It's for another show. But what went on today, man? We could do a 10-hour podcast on what went on today, and we will.
I can't wait to get into some of it. But
we're gonna either talk about it later tonight or tomorrow. But I'm doing a whole show on it. There's so much to talk about in the world right now. Republicans, Democrats, all coming together to yell at Wall Street, and then the people that have been manipulated by the government for the last fucking 10 years. And forever, coming together today and not even realizing it in some cases. It's like, do you realize all they've been trying to do is divide everybody for years. And today, the last couple of days, because of GameStop stock and what's been going on, they accidentally united everybody. Like you had Ted Cruz agreeing with AOC. Now both of those two are full of shit. Because but
it's just the point to see all these different sides come together and kind of share the same sentiment.
Hilarious shit.
All you've done is divide people more than bring them together to hate you even more.
Then you could really throw your tinfoil hat on, though, that this is done not just by Redditors and good people and stuff like that, going after the bad hedge fund people. You could actually throw your tinfoil hat on and start talking about how this is actually groups who own Bitcoin and crypto, who are trying to sabotage the mainstream Wall Street so they can push the agenda of crypto. Now, I'm not saying that that's true or that's anything, because I actually like what they did. I love that Wall Street's up against it right now. But
Absolutely.
There is a part of me that's like, ooh, wait a minute though. Think about the conspiracy.
But
here.
there's a lot of conspiracy, but there's a lot of consequences from this too. So I'm worried about the people that have, very little invested, and that was their life savings, and now that might be gone.
Well, that's the stock market for you.
No, I know, but you're talking about the way the stock market was.
Yeah, I get it. They predicted a certain whatever.
Not much to go into, but essentially by them being Robin Hoods in their own rights and doing a good thing, it could affect so many more people. But the stock market was crooked against the working man to begin with, so really what they're doing is justified. Like it's so convoluted, but
it exposed how everything's rigged.
Yeah,
I appreciate what's his face. He apparently liked my song earlier. Thanks, man. It's up on Corrupted Nation. You can go watch it. It's weird. Little funny song I did on piano.
American what did you call it?
I think I called it American Lies. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught it on Twitter before.
I tweeted something, and then I go, that tweet kind of looks like a poem. And then I took the tweet, and then I cut it in half, and then I started writing more to it. And then and then before you knew it, I had something that sounded like a poem kind of thing. And then I had a piano thing that sounded like it went with it, and I was like, I'll just make it a thing. And then I put all these pictures to it, and I was like, that looks kind of cool. And,
and then it just works together.
And it's just fun, man. A lot of fun. But we'll go back to wrestling. But yeah, lots of stuff to talk about off wrestling. And we'll do that on Patreon. And we'll put stuff up on Corrupted Nation and Shame on News as well. So thank you guys for that. But we'll get back to wrestling because a lot of people don't really... They've already heard about this all day. They went to our wrestling, I guess.
Before we go ahead and get to that, we'll stick with AEW really quick before getting into the Rumble. Eric Travis said, do you think that AEW needs a head booker? We've kind of said this for a while. Tony Khan books as a fan, like how we would. I was never in the business. You were in the business. You have a different type of experience. So I would book as a fan as well. I'm going off of, I don't always know, what's coming next and have I might have their best interest in mind, but I don't know always how to develop a full story. And, that's why you have people that are experienced. I think Tony needs more of that. There's a lot of people there that are established that I think he could benefit more so from. So we'll see what happens going forward, but their booking has been pretty sound and solid lately. There's not a lot of things to argue against.
I've never really had a full job for the most part booking anything. I booked one show one time, and the only reason why is because the booker and the owner guy was missing, and literally everything was set up, and he just was missing.
Yeah, I recall, and then hours before showtime, you were there, and it just kind of trickled down. But.
Right. It was crazy. But other than that, I never did anything like... I would be the guy that...
But at least you have announcing and commentary and ring announcing.
I would be like the Paul Heyman type. Like I always agreed with like... I like Vince and Paul Heyman. I don't like necessarily the matches 100% being booked, but I also like a group of people idea, a think tank. I don't always like... I like being like, here's what we're going to do, but I like having a think tank. And I know some of these guys do that, but a lot of bookers and stuff like that, they just have one
that's
guy.
Why some of the best stuff we got was when, Vince, JR, Cornette, and even Russo at that time worked together because Cornette didn't hate Russo then, and he still wanted to help him.
Well, he might have hated him, but he still worked with him.
At that point, he didn't hate him. He still cared enough that he wanted to help him be a good booker because he had decent ideas, but then he would go all Jerry Springer on stuff.
Chris says he wants Jerry Lynn to be a head booker. That'd be pretty...
Jerry Lynn isn't a bad idea to add, but I wouldn't want just one person. If you had Arn Anderson, Jake Roberts, and Jerry Lynn helping Tony Khan, that could be something pretty damn worthwhile, But
yeah, you want a guy that in the past can say, and I'm sure JR does it a lot. I'm sure JR does it a ton. Sure, JR goes, so you're going to put this guy and that guy, well, what in the hell why would you do that? And then Tony's like, well, what do you mean? And, well, you can't do that because if you do that, this happens. And, we've seen it. It happened in 1992. We tried to put this guy. And then, Tony's like, okay, we never thought of that. But I think Tony's good at, like, thinking of stories and things to do. I just think that there's always that guy around that could be like, here's why that might not work. You know what I mean? Even though that probably will work, here's why it might not work. And one thing I noticed about AEW that we've said, a good thing about AEW is when something doesn't work, they tend to pull out on it eventually pretty quickly. Usually. Like they bail on stuff quickly or they just start going in another direction pretty quickly. Like and WWE kind of used to do that a little bit. And they still do, but it's like more enraging from WWE because they do it a lot more because they screw up more and then they just go, okay, forget that and whatever. But AEW does that a lot, man. Something isn't working. I would say they give it like 1, 2, or 3 weeks. If after 1, 2, or 3 weeks something isn't hot, they tend to bail on it. The only thing that I notice that they're not bailing on that seems to be the same every week and is not good every week is Miro. He's just, every week Miro's just like, wow. Remember, so I don't even like Penelope Ford and Kip, the guy, is that
but I think
names?
that's intentional with them, Joe, because the thing with Miro is the reason why they didn't back out is they knew that there's a payoff, and then maybe they'll change him after this, but they've been waiting to do the wedding since he debuted, and then that also got pushed back a little bit because it was supposed to happen a few weeks beforehand. So that's what I'm guessing is that's the only, because they know Miro's not working. They've obviously heard the criticisms far and wide, and they are pretty good. The Dark Order wasn't working. They changed them. Course correction. You know, Brandy Rhodes' heel coalition was an awful idea. They scrapped that and said they messed up. You know, they have made sound judgments, just like they've made some poor choices. I'm kind of hoping that they're adamant about, all right, we want to see the end of this Miro storyline with Kip. You know, we had a vision initially. We want to at least have that payoff, and then after that, we'll you know, go back to the drawing board, because it's been awful with Miro. It's been so abysmally painful to watch, and I'm hoping that that's the case. That they get through the wedding, they get whatever payoff they wanted with the best man angle, and then we're done with it. Change him.
The crazy thing about that is that's an angle that should have been done quick. Like, it should have been like very quickly done, or even should have been. Like, the surprise should have been that night at the wedding. Like for weeks, Kip Sabian is like, I'm going to have a best man, the best man that you've ever seen. He's a friend of mine in the industry for so long, and my best friend's coming to my wedding. I can't wait for you to see him, and I'm going to marry this beautiful lady. And you know, you do that for 4 to 6 weeks. And then the best man comes out at the wedding, and it's Miro. And everybody goes, oh my God, Rusev's in AEW. Well, you know, the way they did it was so weird and backwards. You do the wedding. The wedding is the thing because everyone's tuning in. What's going to happen at this wedding? And he's got a best man that he's going to unveil and everything. It's like, but instead they just kind of brought him out randomly on that show. And then they were like, look, it's Miro and he's going to be at my wedding. They did things backwards. It's totally backwards. Like
it really is. It feels ass backwards, and it is lacking. So hopefully they get the payoff that they wanted, and then from there, we're good. We get something different. And sticking with AEW, one of the other things is that John Huber, Brody Lee's wife, Amanda, was on the AEW Unrestricted podcast, and several people sent this to me, wanted me to bring this up. And
I actually didn't read it. I waited for this. I'm glad you're going to read it to me because I didn't read it.
I don't know if you want me to read the entire thing because it's very long, but she goes into, this is a full summary from Reddit, courtesy of Myber3, I believe you say his name, but on the podcast, it's a hard listen. It really is, and it's so sad. But she tells about how initially he's on his Peloton bike, and John's citing that he's got real shortness of breath. So she takes his temperature, she checks his sense of smell and taste. He seems okay.
Can I stop you real quick? Why does everybody have shortness of breath now? Have you noticed this? I mean, I've got it.
Yeah, it's been very common with everything recently.
I've had it for a year. Point. Now, it could be the anxiety of knowing this pandemic was coming and I was worried. So it could be anxiety, or it could be I'm out of shape.
I think that plays into it, honestly. That was one of the things I was going to say. Is that,
but this guy was in shape, so it's so crazy. I'm sorry, continue. You're going to tell us.
No, but when you buy a new car, then you see that car on the road everywhere.
Yeah.
Same kind of idea, I believe, is at hand here, or is at play. Now, because you know this is such an immediate sign, shortness of breath, absolutely it. You know, if you have shortness of breath, it's 90% COVID. Like, they scared that into you. So people now everywhere, oh, this causes shortness of breath, and this causes, and that's a common side effect for a lot of things. And sometimes some not so dangerous causes either. You know, it could be just an anxiety attack, or so people immediately worry. Monday, he records the AEW podcast, the Unrestricted podcast. He goes for the workout on his bike, the Peloton bike. Shortness of breath, can't finish, but seems normal. Tuesday, same result. Wednesday, he drives to Jacksonville, does the tapings, tests negative for COVID, but due to his symptoms, Doc Sampson doesn't feel confident allowing him in the building, so he goes back home. As a precaution, he quarantines in his bedroom away from his family. On the next day, Thursday, he gets a high fever. Amanda keeps him hydrated, but he's not eating. He gets a nasal swab test. The result comes back Sunday, still negative. So that's Thursday. Friday, he goes to urgent care. He's diagnosed with bronchitis and allergies. They don't agree with the diagnosis. He said he felt like he had pneumonia. He was prescribed an oral antibiotic, steroids, and allergy medication. Now we're up to Sunday. Showing visible signs of distress, his face is sunken in. They take him to the hospital. He was leaning on Amanda as they were walking, having trouble moving. Amanda told him to sit down and that they should get a wheelchair, but Brody refused. They took him back to triage, checked his temperature, but at that time, his fever went away. They checked his oxygen multiple times with multiple machines, as they didn't believe the result. His oxygen level was 52.
Oh, my God.
Asthma attack is at 85. I know I breathe very deeply and slowly, and especially when I was bigger, obviously, the weight on my lungs. But
good Christ,
when I
dude.
had surgery, I was pissing the doctors off because I would only, do 5 breaths a minute, and they wanted more, your oxygen to be higher. Mine was at like 88. That to be at 52. He was rushed back, put on oxygen. They expect him to have COVID. He's tested immediately. It's negative. They don't know what the issue is. He has ups and downs over the next few days. Wednesday, it gets worse. They bring him to ICU so they can keep a better eye on him. Fast forward to Halloween now. The doctor told her that they needed to transfer Brody to another hospital outside of Tampa. They go to the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville since they have connections through Jacksonville with AEW. The reasoning for the transfer was described as a matter of life and death. He needed to go on an ECMO machine as well, possibly needing a lung transplant. So ECMO it's a very severe, it's the extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, and it's life support. It's a huge machine that basically keeps you alive. It's if your heart and lungs are unable to provide adequate amounts of gas exchanges, this thing works as like a cardiopulmonary bypass. Let me say that 5 times fast.
What the hell is
that? So
what
ECMO does is it pumps your heart and pulls oxygen into your lungs and circulates it through your body. But you can't stay on this long term. ECMO is like a short term, ultimate Band-Aid quick fix before you can get to a transplant.
And they still don't know why this is happening to him.
Yeah, at that same time, they still don't know. So Brody, still conscious at this point, they're telling his wife that she shouldn't see him now because she's clearly emotional, and they worried it would just make things worse for him.
By the way, people are asking, an oxygen level you want like 93 to 99. Like, it's not normal. Below 93, you start going, all right,
so they don't know what the cause for his oxygen to go down. They don't know, what it is. They've got him in the ICU. Now they're saying he's so sick he needs a lung transplant, and they put him on ECMO while she's home packing a bag and told to come back. Brody Jr. wanted to be Orange Cassidy for Halloween. Amanda originally thought it was silly that nobody would know who Orange Cassidy was, but one of Brody's last words were, "Go buy him a fucking denim jacket." So that's hard to hear, but Amanda had hand-painted a Brody Lee costume for Nolan to wear. They were especially looking forward to this Halloween since it was going to be Brody's first one home with the family because he was always with WWE.
Right.
Amanda did not want to lie to Brody Jr. and tell him everything would be okay, but instead tried to focus on the positives, that his dad is in the best hospital. This is killing me to hear this. She took pictures of her boys in the costumes so she could show Brody when she got back to the hospital. Just as she was about to go back to the hospital, she received a call that he was crashed and had been intubated. When she arrived at his hospital room, she said it was horrifying to look at. The room was trashed. He had a tube down his throat. She had to sit in the conference room as they awaited the flight transfer. Around 1 a.m., they boarded the plane and flew to Jacksonville. So this is still at the first hospital.
Wow.
Now they take him and Brody, and she made sure to specify, he said fucking denim jacket. Like, So the first day in Jacksonville, he's placed on the ECMO machine there and prepped for surgery. Amanda had to stay at a hotel in Jacksonville that AEW covered the cost of. AEW covered mostly everything.
What kind of surgery were they having?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it says I read on, but she says the nurses and staff are amazing. And this is me paraphrasing a lot too.
Yeah, because if we read into all the personal,
she talks about
things,
people bringing her food and all the
freak out.
helpfulness, and people were so kind to them. And November 9th, they signed the paperwork to start the lung transplant for Brody. She went to AEW to handle, and she kind of guilted them into not letting this information leak out. She told them, and she went to speak to the locker room personally, so no one would go ahead and say anything. So Amanda and Aubrey mentioned routinely checking places like Reddit to see if the information had leaked. At some point, he was tested for COVID again, this time via a bronchial wash, a method the clinic had used in the past to discover COVID cases, which is used if someone gets negative results, but they think he has it. And it was still negative. November 14th, Amanda's birthday. The
Do you think that they were looking for COVID so bad that they missed other things? They missed other things, like, or something?
It kind of sounds that way at times, but I don't want to. They're such a good hospital. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
End of November, he starts showing signs of getting better. They had performed a tracheotomy so that Brody could be removed from the ventilator. So now he's got a hole in his throat to breathe out of. So now he's able to wake up and non-verbally communicate with Amanda. He can't talk with the trach in, but he can smile, he mouths words, and he starts physical therapy. Things are looking up. Instead of a ventilator, he's put on oxygen.
Does that mean he can't speak again when he hits that?
Eventually, when they take the trach out, he could speak again. But it disrupts your vocal cords.
Okay.
And, so I didn't even know he had that till now. I mean, when I heard the podcast listening, I was like, holy crap, that I didn't know it got that bad. Then she said he suffered a panic attack, which took things and made it like an ultimate turn for the worse.
Do you think maybe
the panic attack caused a bunch of setbacks because of not being able to
possibly
breathe
just he had a pneumonia? Like a pneumonia is what caused his lungs to kind of fail.
It doesn't mention anything about him being a previous smoker, J-Rod. I don't hear anything about him smoking. He was pretty health conscious and very active, obviously being a wrestler. So I don't think he smoked.
We can't stay on this too much longer. I'm gonna have a panic.
No,
attack.
I know. I'm getting to the end now.
I'm gonna freak out.
They revisited the idea of a lung transplant, and they said lung transplant or end life care at that point. So they were kind of at the end saying, you either need a lung transplant or we're going to have to set up something where you pull the plug. And they went from him being better, having the trach, to this decision. So it's like horrifying. Jeez. Chris Jericho flew Brody Jr. up to Jacksonville on his private plane. He got to attend that episode of Dynamite, which was a big deal to him as he was a big wrestling fan. That night, Amanda was expecting to receive a phone call on the decision as to whether Brody would receive a lung transplant. She didn't hear anything, assumed it would be a no. December 24th, she went back home to spend a few days with her kids because she had been staying at the hospital. She received a phone call and from the doctor, one she wasn't particularly a fan of, saying that they needed to begin the end-of-life care. His kidneys and heart were failing. His lungs were refusing to function. She refused to come back to Jacksonville as she was determined to spend Christmas with her children, despite the risk that she may not be there when Brody passes. People go and visit him on Christmas Eve. She talks to Cody Rhodes, and then he actually passes away December 26th. So the official cause of death was determined as idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. The term idiopathic is used when the cause of disease is not known. Pulmonary fibrosis is a scarring of the lungs. She is still awaiting an autopsy report which could contain additional information.
Man, we're going to have to wait. I mean,
we don't know. And you made a great point. Like you said, were they so focused on COVID? Because it really sounds like they were, that this led to them missing other diagnoses.
I don't know that. I mean, we don't know that. I'm sure they looked at everything because they probably after a while were like, what the hell is going on? But, this is one of the most craziest things you've ever heard. I mean, the guy's healthy. The guy works out. The guy does all these things. He gets a pneumonia. And that's really what it comes to the pneumonia thing to me, I think. But how could he not have had it or have had it? And did he have a variant of it? I mean, but other people would have had it too, and he's healthy.
Yeah, no COVID. We're not trying to bring down anybody's mood.
I think it's just bad.
It really is so important to go through, as hard as it was to get through all that. I mean, dude,
when my dad died, I mean, you think about this. When my father died when I was 8, I didn't understand because I asked my mom. I said, "Why did Dad die? Like, I don't understand." Like, we're laying in bed, everything's fine. Then I'm waking up to my mother screaming and, like, everything. And I'm like, like, when they took him to the hospital, I thought he was, like, passed out. But he had a heart attack. So it's like, dude, he had a heart attack. So But I'm like, but why? But he had diabetes, so he was always hooked up to the damn machines and the diabetes. I didn't understand when I was a kid that like one thing leads to the other, that you have a heart attack because you're at way higher risk of having a heart attack when you're 48 when you have diabetes. But a 48-year-old could just die of a heart attack anyway. So, exactly.
But for this, it really seems like the lung shut down other organs, which just continually his body couldn't withstand the sickness.
Do you think did he have
he was wrestling? Maybe he had scarring of the lungs and some type of like breathing depreciation thing where he had some type of like a hypertension. Pneumonia, hypertension, like Jimmy said. Maybe he had some type of underlying issue with breathing, and all the wrestling, and cardio work made that kind of better. And it was just never noticed because he was exercising so often.
I'm surprised they didn't see it though. Like I was thinking, like maybe he had a couple of punctured lungs before they never caught. Because you could get a punctured lung and maybe you didn't realize it or something like that. But
yeah, and Kieran, I see your post about him. I've heard the story with Kevin Nash and them smoking marijuana and stuff. It could be, but as far as him being like an avid like cigarette smoker, I've never heard anything. So that's the only thing I was responding to. But the silver lining through all of this really shows how heavily AEW stepped up and paid for so much, and he was only there for a few short months. I don't. It doesn't even seem. I mean, I'm sure the wrestlers reached out, but I don't know if WWE themselves ever did anything for him.
Yeah. And
so you really got to give AEW a ton of credit for stepping up for their family. They treated their wrestlers like a family. They kept it quiet too, and you know how fucking hard that is to do with anything in the wrestling business. To not. I mean, all they had to do was tell a cousin or an aunt or an uncle, and they say it. Oh, I'm worried about Brody today. Why? What happened? Oh, but don't tell anybody, and it gets out. They kept that under wraps until he passed away. Now, the fans would have liked to have known that he was ill. Maybe we could have sent well wishes and that kind of thing, but it wouldn't have changed the outcome. So.
Yeah, I mean, we should move on. I don't want to go back.
We have to start moving
crying on myself. But I mean, listen, I took when I had my breathing stuff, I took my oxygen level, and I was really worried. And when I took my oxygen levels, I was like, oh, I felt way better. Because I was like, oh, it was like 98. I'm like, oh, I'm 97.
But knowing he was able to be on ECMO and then get off without the need of a transplant is huge. So he must have really improved at some point in time. I mean, my stays, I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one, but I've spent a lot of times in hospitals myself. I've dealt with a lot of, sick people and issues in my own rights. And, I had to stay on the transplant floor because they had no room when I had my other tube put in my intestines. So I was on the transplant floor. I couldn't have visitors. You couldn't even have fresh fruit. You couldn't have fresh cut flowers, nothing because of all these interactions. So I literally couldn't do anything on this floor. But I made friends with a lot of people that needed the transplants, and seeing the ECMO thing in real life, when that gets brought out, it's usually end of life like that. That's the last resort, at least how I personally had seen it used. So for him to make a comeback off of that and then still pass away is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, somebody, Holy Moly Donut Shop, said his wife said that it was an infection, and then that caused the scarring. So that would make sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, if he had previous scarring from he said it felt like pneumonia, so he obviously had pneumonia before, and just kind of leads up. But
all right,
back on the brighter news, we've got some donations to chime in with, and then we're going to get into the Royal Rumble for all the fun stuff this weekend.
Oh baby, here it comes. Shit bomb.
You become
what's up, JCS Foot Rub?
Shit bomb.
What an awesome thumbnail, Cronin. Thumbs up.
Well, I basically stole it from the WWE thing, so I mean, I really didn't do much at all. Super lazy, because I read my kids' story. I read books to my kids tonight, and I was running late, so I just grabbed the one that was kind of already there. So I didn't do it. JCS Foot Rub. I just kind of plastered our logo on top of it. So super lazy, to be honest. But hey, glad it looks good.
Heads up, everyone. This is a joke. Who do you think would win in a fight? Gavin Arrow, Ruby Bullfrog's niece, or Deborah's child?
Oh.
Battle royal among the kids of JCS community.
What the
Sorry,
hell?
This is so messed up, haha.
Oh my god, Debbie and Bullfrog's family. Thanks to the $3. It's creepy. Oh my god. I mean,
only our community, I'm telling you. Only
Remember the clip we used to have of Tom going, fuck Debbie, or whatever, yeah. Until cum comes out of her eyeballs. Oh my god.
The classics.
That was crazy. I gotta find the clip of that. I'll find it eventually. Thank you, shit bomb, for that. Joe Compton.
A shit bomb.
When the generator ran out of gas for the XFL.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking of only wrestling, but yeah, that's a great example. They really fucked up the XFL, dude. They didn't have enough gas.
Bad. When the lights went out in the Super Bowl, somebody brought up.
Yes.
There's a few others like that. There was an NBA game that had that problem not that long ago.
Joe Compton, good to hear from you, man. What's up?
Hell yeah, buddy.
What up, Joe Compton? We're going to put Joe Compton up here as the top dog, baby. Shit bomb! Joe Compton.
Woo back, baby. You're
become a shit bomb.
There's a shit bum dono, and I don't see it. There it is. JCS Foot Rub, thank you, man. I'm still...
Oh, it was the sticker they sent before. That's what it was.
A sticker? Oh,
they sent
yeah,
a sticker
yeah.
in the chat.
Oh, yeah, I like those. Yeah, the little dancing bear thing. It's a little dancing bear for you. JCS Foot Rub, good to hear from you, man. What's going on? Appreciate it, bro. I pinned the donation links to the top. If you guys want the links, they're up top there. And all the donation amounts are listed down below, too, by the way. And then Lumby McGumby just subscribed. What's up, Lumby? Thanks for subbing. I got to fix these still, man. All the things are still messed up, bro. You'd think I'd fix them by now. Bomb! There's the sound wave.
You become a shit bomb.
A $20 bomb.
What's the best or worst case scenario for the Royal Rumble? Best case is that it's someone that we don't expect, maybe a Joria. Worst case is Goldberg or Charlotte win because I have no faith in Vince to be rational.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we'll probably get into with the review in a second. Soundwave92, thanks for the $20. I do think Charlotte's going to face Rhea Ripley for a title at WrestleMania, so that
could be.
Seems likely.
Well, when we get into predictions shortly. Yeah,
maybe Asuka will be involved too. Maybe it'll be a triple threat. We'll talk about that after, but yeah, okay, worst case and best case, I mean, about the Rumble, you just mark that down, I guess, that Soundwave said that, and we'll bring that up when we get into it.
That's part of my, worst timeline, best timeline, and our little fantasy booking as well.
Okay, cool. So we'll get to that, Soundwave, man. Thank you for the $20, Soundwave.
Yes, indeed.
Was there anything else?
WWE is still working on finalizing the Rumble card, believe it or not.
Oh, of course.
They said that they finalized the match winners, that this was all set, and then Vince changed his mind, apparently. So there's a lot of stories going around, and that's the thing. There's so many different rumors, and there's very few truths in there. A lot of people is just, every year you hear people fantasy book the hell out of the Rumble, know, and it's fun. That's one of the exciting parts of it. But there's not that many people that they have at this point that can come back to surprise you. Who do we have? Realistically, we've got John Cena, Hogan, Nash. They're talking about, you hear that rumbled up. You want Hogan and Nash to come in the Rumble? Come on.
Right.
You want, that's not going to happen. So Cena, I see him being a lock. That's an easy one. Goldberg's going to be there. All right. Lesnar, that's a possibility. But, they'll be working on the card until, JW Universe is right. Till Sunday, they're going to be working on the card. They're going to keep changing things because they don't know what they want to do for Mania. And one of the things I teased last night, why? Because no one can get through to Vince McMahon anymore. Now, excluding the fact of his brother passing away and him being away from, the show tapings recently, he's usually there. But access to Vince has been more limited, from what I've been told, than ever before. And one of the reasons for that is because of Bruce Pritchard. Bruce is having everything funneled allegedly through him, and any idea he deems non-worthy or not original, not as creative, whatever, he doesn't think it's worthy, it doesn't get put to Vince. So people's ideas aren't being heard, creative stories aren't being shared because he doesn't want to deal with it. He just kind of blocks out anything he doesn't want to deal with, allegedly. This is what's being said. We've heard this from quite a few spots, though, as it's been reported throughout the week. And we've heard also how displeased people are with Bruce Pritchard. So it all kind of lines up. Seems to make a great deal of sense that, Vince just, we knew he wasn't really with the times, but he's being protected by his certainly ultimate series of yes men now more than ever. It just worries me about booking going forward because you used to be able to get through to Vince. You'd have certain people, a Bischoff, a Heyman, a Cornette, somebody that would be able to say, hey, this is a bad idea. Don't go with that. Maybe you should rethink this.
Right.
Instead, Bruce Pritchard is yesing everything of him to death and not allowing any other ideas to come through.
Right, because,
that's why we're getting such a bad product.
And then I think he gets a lot of his goofy ideas across, which, sometimes he's got good ones, but most of the time it's that comedy goof. And
yeah, it's that silly stuff. And the good stuff's few and far between. Anything that's been really compelling and worthwhile has been written by either the talents directly involved themselves, or it's been, just something that fell into their laps.
It feels like it gets goofified by them too. Like, okay, we got this idea. Well, yeah, but wouldn't it be funny if we do this too? Like his humor, and I like his humor, but it's like very Three Stooges. Like Bruce Pritchard, I feel like is a Three Stooges fan, and that old time stuff, and so isn't Vince. And I get it because I am too. I love that stuff, but there's just it feels like they've gone that full road, like they've gone hard that way. And there's, like you said, if we had a Jim Cornette and a Russo, to be honest, bro, I hate this.
Yeah, you need one on each side.
Give me
one
those
so
guys.
Wacky, so straight and narrow that it works. One that hates all goofy wrestling, one that only likes goofy wrestling, and what you got worked.
Dude, if I had a company, if I owned WWE, and I know that we said this to Cronin, and he was like, 6 years ago, Cronin, and he was like, man, they'd probably stab each other and kill themselves or whatever. But if I was Vince McMahon, I swear to God to you, I would put like Vince Russo with me on Raw, and then I would put like Jim Cornette in charge of NXT, and then I'd put Paul Heyman in charge of SmackDown, and I'd just be like, go get it, and whoever does the best job, gets the money, gets more money. You make more money.
Three vaguely different comparing styles there, and I like the idea because you're getting them to compete, and competition obviously breeds success. But I think the real magic would be to have those people work together.
Well, I agree, but I just don't. I'm like being sort of realistic that
I know because it's
themselves.
Hard enough to get. Yeah, but apparently for what they're doing for SmackDown, at times they have these mini meetings and it works. You get Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, sometimes Edge. And, Pierce could be in there at points, and usually Pritchard. They come up with things. They work better than Raw. So it's like, come on.
And quite honestly, the other thing I would do is, I'd hire a new team of people. I'd look out in the wrestling world and say, who's out there with all these ideas?
You don't always have to go to the legends. You don't have to go to the well. There's a lot of people out there that probably can book quite well that are doing it either in local promotions or even if they don't have wrestling experience necessarily, you can find people that are wrestling fans that have at least a passion for the product.
I would take Evolve. I'd bring Evolve back since you own it now. Bring Evolve back. Go out there and find young guys or whatever, people like us or like anybody else, like people who think that they can book stuff. And I would be rotating in commentators, rotating in announcers, rotating in talent, rotating in situations, and you just do that, and then you put in bookers like, oh, you want to book stuff? Watch what they did. Hey, who booked these shows? Like, what did they do? What were their ideas? And you could really study all this stuff, and instead it's just
who's been handling this at this place really well? Oh yeah, well let's give you a shot. And
because it ain't working with even the legends, it isn't working 100% with.
No. Well, it also because of, if the legends are having good ideas, but then they're not getting through to the boss, that's a problem. And then having who you have is another problem. So there's just a whole mess that needs to be changed.
I think that I think what I just said might be something that does happen when Vince is gone. Because Triple H and Stephanie and everybody else, they're going to look at things, they're going to be like,
yeah, they got to get rid of the soap opera storylines.
Yeah, we're not going to do this.
Science, right.
I'm sure that, and especially Triple H, he's going to be like, listen, I can't do all this. It's not feasible for me to run everything. So I'm going to put, I could see honestly we haven't thought about this, but it's a possibility that goddamn Road Dogg and Shawn Michaels take over SmackDown. I'm serious.
I know. Yeah.
Road Dogg and Shawn Michaels and Paul Heyman take over SmackDown. Triple H and somebody else take over Raw. And then somebody is left to run NXT, whether that's Shawn or Road Dogg or somebody else.
Yeah, you don't want to overburden people with too much to book either, but you want to have people that can work well together. There's a lot of options there. You have people that are talented; they're just not getting their.
And Road Dogg is off Twitter, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
I'm never getting hired now. I was blocked by Road Dogg.
WWE also confirmed. I'm going to ramble off a bunch of quick stories.
Let's do it.
WWE legendary Japanese wrestler Miko Satomura, who was involved in the Mae Young Classic back in 2018, has been hired. She'll be working with NXT UK.
Ooh,
and the internet is abuzz that she's been hired. So NXT UK Women's Champion Kaylee Ray said she wanted the best. She's got the best. So she's coming to go ahead and challenge the champion. Let's see. What else do we have here? WWE is trying to eliminate problems with the Rumble this year. Now, this Saturday, they have a 6-hour Rumble rehearsal.
Oh, my God.
Back in Orlando. Anybody that's already in Tampa has to go back to Orlando that's involved in the Women's Rumble, especially. They're going over the Men's Rumble, but they want the Women's Rumble completely handled. Because remember last year, it was like the tale of two Rumbles, and I agree. Fightful said this. I'm agreeing with them, but
fuck them.
Fuck them, but I agree with the statement. Last year, WWE had the Women's Rumble broken down into 2 sections because they wanted to streamline the process. This way they could have the first 15 entrants train and the next 15 entrants train, and then they could have the 2 matches meet in the middle. Well, when they met in the middle, they really messed up, and that's why a lot of issues happened, and there was so much tardiness and just bad botched spots in the Women's Rumble last year. So they really want them to have it down to a T. They want to perfect everything. So they're going to make the women go this Saturday and have a 6-hour Rumble rehearsal.
Jesus Christ, that could make it worse.
So that's 6 times they're going through the Rumble match. That's nuts.
It could make it worse. To be honest, I'm not even kidding. But
this is coming from Wrestling Observer, Fightful, and Ringside News. So.
I don't normally like rehearsed stuff, too much rehearsed stuff. I don't normally like it. But Rumbles and Battle Royals, or 6-man things and stuff like that, that's different. Like when you get into everybody's got a different thing and timing. First of all, when you get into that, you're doing the wrong thing. Like the minute that you have so many things planned, you have to keep going over all these things. That's when dude, if I was...
Yeah, that's when it gets dangerous because people forget spots.
But if I was in a locker room and I was involved in some kind of thing and everybody had to know all these different cues and things, that pissed me off back in the day. It rarely happened, but 1 or 2 times I was in a locker room and I was in a 6-man tag and they had all these things and I was like, dude, I'm not going to fucking remember this. And something bad is going to happen.
People look at each other blank face because you have too many spots. Then you have to call out spots.
Yeah.
Or let's say you and I are wrestling as a tag team. Well, they have me remember the first half and you remember the second half.
You're right.
And then if something happens in the match or I get hurt or we miss a spot, now you don't know what to do for the second half and you have to cover. And those things you should always be able to call it in the ring. The problem is, like you said, too, they had minor spots in the Rumble, but it always usually came in the very beginning or the very end.
Right.
And they would have certain things planned, 2 people being eliminated at the same time or things of that nature. With this, it doesn't work really at all for how they want to go ahead and plan it. So it is dangerous for them to go ahead and handle. But
it's like, do you remember when I had the match with the bear in the ring with Teddy
what
Goods?
you want to do, but you can be creative as it goes because you told Teddy, here's what's going to happen, but he knew how to go with it.
Right. He made stuff okay, and that's why everybody out there that's the beauty of wrestling when you don't take it too seriously. When you're when I say something to Teddy Goods about here's what I want, here's what I think is going to happen, but then when we get to be doing it, and maybe something doesn't quite go the exact way, so then he says something, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and then I quickly say something, and you're making communication, or when you do something and you realized it wasn't good enough, so then you've got another idea real quick to make it better, or when you maybe did something, whatever, and you're thinking on the fly, and you're it's almost like you're painting with somebody on the fly. Oh my God, it's beautiful, and it's like
art.
dancing.
You really
It is. It's like dancing. It's like painting. It's like you're literally you're working with somebody on a painting or something. It's like you're painting and the other guy's painting and you're like, I don't know what we're gonna make, and then eventually you start realizing it looks like a turtle and you're like, kind of looks like a turtle, it's Steve Welsh, and so then you start painting it some more and then you're painting it green, the other guy adds his green, then you're like, that was a good green, I'm adding more green, and you're just, oh my God, it's exciting what you're doing. You're building this thing, and
It's all done on the fly. And when you add all those spots, you lead to people getting injured more. I mean, that is true as well, the chat said. But also those spots get forgotten. And the Rumble really didn't have those until about the past 10 years or so with Kofi and things like that, where they had these moments where, all right, now Kofi's got to get back in the ring, or Otis has got to save Mandy, or, things like that. And that kind of is a bit of a worry because it's a spectacle, but you have to have everybody prepared. Well, what do the other 9 people in the ring do while Kofi's hopping on his hands on the outside? You can't just have them staring at him.
Oh, I hate that.
So to book all that shit, it really becomes risky.
You know what I hope happens this year? I hope Kofi is walking on his hands with his legs up in the air, like crawling on his hands with his legs straight up in the air, and right as he's about to get to the ring to put his legs across the ring and slide back into the ring because his feet never touch the ground, I hope somebody on the outside, or I hope someone in the ring sees it, rolls out from underneath the ring, then runs at him and missile drop kicks him. That'd be fucking hilarious. Like, he doesn't make it back to the ring. He's about to, and then he gets drop kicked, and he goes flying sideways and doesn't get in the ring, and that sets up a feud with Kofi and whoever the fuck. Like, that'd be nice.
Sadly, this is the first year that Kofi won't be there. So.
Oh, he's not going to be in the Rumble?
No, he's injured with his broken jaw still.
Oh, yeah,
that's kind of the story they're telling on Raw. So.
Oh, I was thinking Xavier Woods was injured.
Yeah, I know. I did that earlier, too. I'm like, I wonder what Kofi's going to do this year. And I'm like, oh, wait, he's not going to be there.
That's right.
Unless they have him surprise entrant show up. He's not declared now. He's still out injured, and I'm not sure, We'll go through the entrance shortly, but for the men, I think they have 18, and for the women, they have 12. So,
you know what really
actually announced?
You know what really always gets me when really quickly to say this real quick is that I did all this backyard wrestling even before being in the ring, and I did all this backyard wrestling, and we had these like long matches, and it's like nobody ever got crossed up, and I don't know how that never happened, and I think maybe it's because my friends didn't care, they just like let me take the lead on everything, but it was like. Nobody ever got really crossed up, and we like move after move happened. Like, how the hell did we know what we were doing? Like in the backyard. So it's like it's a weird thing, dude. Wrestling is a weird thing. Like it
really is. But
what?
That's what I've always said. You look at the wrestlers, and you're like, how in God's name do they just know? All right, I'm going to go high. You're going to go low. Because you can tell no one made a call there, but they get the suplexes and they get the clotheslines, and then you sold this, and it's like. It's just so stunning because that's not rehearsed. And how did you two know to just be in sync with each other and so in tune? That's one of the reasons I love wrestling.
I know, and it's like, what? Because that's why it's so awkward when it's planned. And it's like, and for when people, I just, sometimes I see people write stuff like, well, then they have to rehearse all this stuff or they won't know or whatever the case is. And I'm like, no, like that's not true because I wrestled a ton of matches where we had no idea what was going on. And not only that, fuck putting myself over, which is stupid. I'm not putting myself over. I wrestled in a backyard and then I wrestled like 20 or 30 professional matches. That was it. But forget me. So throw me out. So we're not patting myself around like I'm something, I'm a loser. But I mean, the other wrestlers in the locker room, I'd be in the locker room, I'd be hanging out. And, I hear a guy, and they'd be like, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a couple of years. Holy shit. Like, what's been up? Yeah, bro, like, whatever. We're on third or whatever. Oh, yeah, cool. What do you want to do or whatever? Oh, I'm going to be, well, I mean, like, you just go full heel. He's like, I'm going to be doing a heel thing coming up in the next couple of weeks here, so I'm just going to start tonight, trying to get heat, see what happens, really, whatever. If you could do that, yeah, you do that thing where you just piss everybody off. You go around, everybody hates that. Yeah, do that thing. All right, I'll do that. And hey, you want to do the it's no DQ, so do you want to do the tornado DDT like outside the ring and through a table spot? Yeah, let's do that, man. And then there's a ladder on the ring. We'll do something with that. Okay, that sounds good. I'll hit you with the. You want to do the chair? Yeah. And oh, dude, I was thinking about doing at some point like towards the end before we set it up and we go home. I was like, I want to do this spot off the top where, like, you ever seen the move where the sunset, you ever seen whatever the fuck? Oh, yeah, I seen that. Yeah, so I want to do it, but it's an avalanche. It's off the top. Oh, off the top rope? You can do that, right? Yeah, I can do that. You just got to make sure you push up when I jump, right? Oh, yeah, I got you, bro. Just call it, I'll see. It's the only spot I'm doing on the ropes. So, okay, cool. Anyway, yeah, man, we'll just fuck around, whatever. We got like 12 minutes? We got 12 minutes, man, or something like that. All right, cool, man. Yeah, we'll just make sure you go heel and, whatever. And then you're going to hit me with the finisher at the end? Yeah, I'll hit you with the finisher. Maybe I'll have the chair there or something, hit you on top of something. All right, cool, that'd be cool. And then you see the match, and you're watching it. I'm watching it as an announcer or whatever. Now, a lot of times I didn't hear those convos because I don't want to hear them. I want to call it without knowing what's going on. Yeah,
you want to be on the spot so you get your actual unbiased, like unfiltered reaction. Absolutely.
But I'll hear everything, and then I'll be like, all right. And then I'll be calling it or I'll be watching it. And, you'll see a couple things, like where they added something or where they didn't end up doing the thing they wanted to do. And whatever reason that happened. And then, in the locker room later, you'll be talking and you'll be like, they'll be laughing or I'd be laughing when it happened to me. It'd be the same thing. Like, dude, we fucking didn't even do the fucking spot or whatever. Like, yeah, dude, we
wanted
went
to go
to the other side of the ring.
You were supposed to throw me under the stairs, but we ran out of time.
Yeah,
things like that.
So they did so I'll be watching and they do the tornado DDT thing they wanted to do, but they do it they do it in the ring.
So long as they don't do the tornado DDT, that move scares the shit out of me.
Really? Does it?
Oh, most feared move in wrestling today. You should know that.
It's exciting, man. It's always exciting.
Fuego's on fire, buddy. You gotta be afraid. That's Cody's best friend.
Well, see, that'd be funny if you whipped out fire and then put it on the table. You didn't tell me you were gonna set it on fire. You're setting the
actually gonna light it up.
Fuck it, light it up.
We wanted clarification a few weeks ago with Ricochet's contract. He originally signed. He was one of the hottest free agents. Came into NXT in 2018. And then when he went up to the main roster, it wasn't reported that he signed a new contract.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, he dropped his original contract.
We heard about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, but there was a lot of people saying that wasn't the case. So I do want to go ahead and clarify. The 3-year deal that runs out this month is null and void, and Ricochet is there for another 4 additional years. His contract now does not end. He re-signed for 5 years. So we don't have any worries about Ricochet essentially leaving. If you wanted him to go, I'm sorry. If you want him to stay, you should be happy. But I just hope they finally do something with him.
The scary thing, hope to God they do, because Ricochet is a layup. Even if he can't, obviously he's never going to be good on the mic. The guy sucks on the mic, okay? And I think it's going to take a shoot to get the guy to get on the mic and say some shit. Like I'll just be honest with you. I think Ricochet, obviously physically, Ricochet is one of the most talented guys. Physically, I could never dream of being as talented physically as Ricochet. My God, he's amazing. But I wish that they would put me in the ring with Ricochet. Like, make Joe Cronin the Eddie Kingston. Put me in the ring with Ricochet and be like, hey, Ricochet, come on out here. Yeah, so you guys are going to be doing a 5-minute promo in the ring? And Ricochet's like, I didn't get any promo. Oh, no, it's just going to be, you be the good guy, but you're going to get like angry heel good guy, and he's gonna get nasty on you. And anyway, you guys are up next. Go on out there. And we go out in the ring. Ricochet's in the ring, and I'm like, yo, I'm probably gonna slap you or something like that. Probably, just heads up. And he's like, what? Okay. And we go out there, and then we stand in the ring. And then I just talk about how I'm an indie guy who worked down at Evolve and worked down at all the indie companies. Oh, because I don't have the beautiful washboard abs and because I don't have the sexy little physique that Ricochet has that obviously gives somebody in the back a chubby, I don't get a shot. But I've won plenty of matches. I've won tougher matches than you could ever dream of. I'm more entertaining than you. All of these things. Yeah, you can flippy flop all over the place looking like a superhero, but on the microphone, quite frankly, you suck. There's nothing about you. You win half of your matches, big whoop. If I worked in the WWE, I wouldn't win half of my matches. I'd win almost all of them, if not all of them, Ricochet. But all you do is fly around. Oh, yeah, play the music. I'll just take a paycheck. You're just happy to make the average salary, Ricochet. I'm not here to make the average salary. I'm here to own a friggin' mansion someday. I'm here to provide for my kids and family so that we're some of the most richest celebrities in the world. And I'm the most popular WWE superstar. I'm the champion because the champion makes money. More money than you make. More money than you will make. But there's nothing I can say to you to wake you up, Ricochet, because you're just happy to come out here. Pew, 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 pew. I'm your friggin' wake-up call. Right across his fucking face. Fucking boom! Hit Ricochet right in his face. Now, what do you gotta say about that, Ricochet? Or are you just gonna stare at me like you usually do and say something weird, like, dude, I think you care more about buying sneakers than you do about talking to me. I think you're scared of me. And I'd hand him the mic.
Ricochet grabs the mic and says, "Superheroes are real."
Right.
And listen, gets kicked in the balls.
And you know what you do then? You grab the mic back from him again. You go, "Superheroes are real, Ricochet. They're really real, Ricochet." You happy on the lower mid card, bro? You happy on the lower mid card? You're like a.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you sure? Let me look down there. I don't know, man. Is that a bulge you got down there? Or is there a hole there? Huh? You know what I mean? Huh? Boom! Slap him again in the face.
Promo smells like.
Are you awake yet?
I agree.
Wake up! And it's like, dude, you know what, Ricochet? Give me your spot. I want you to say in the microphone right now, take my spot in the Rumble. Ricochet, say it to me right now. Say, take my spot in the Rumble. Tell me I can have your spot. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me right now. Tell everybody so they can hear you.
Keep hitting him with the microphone. Not hard.
Boom! I'll hit him again if I have to. Let's go. Wake these fucking people up. And you know what? Eventually, he's going to get up actually upset. And he might start saying stuff. He might start rattling off what he's done in his career and what he could do in the ring and what he might do if he got in a ring with me. You know, like, I mean, can we wake this guy up? Can we wake somebody up? Wake the fuck up. Somebody wake the fuck up. Okay? Because that's what fucking goddamn Cody Rhodes' wife did it, for Christ's sake. Brandy Rhodes sucks on the microphone usually. Well, okay, wait a minute. I actually take that back. She was actually good on heel commentary. But Brandy Rhodes is normally like, let me tell you something. We're going out there and Cody Rhodes and blah, 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 and all these other weird things. Jade Cargill comes out there, cuts a promo. She looks impressive. She looks menacing. She kind of looks like a bad bitch. She looks impressive, but like I don't really know what to think. But then Brandy picks up the mic and goes, oh, no, you trifling bitch. Let me tell you something, motherfucker. And you're like, oh, shit, let's go. Like, we need some people, we need some Brandy Rhodeses in WWE to get in people's faces, to say some shit, to do some shit. We need some Eddie Kingston. We need some fucking fire. We need people on the microphone who can talk, who can speak, who can drive and passion, and let me see the real you. God damn it, I've been watching wrestling since 1987. Dreamed of being in the WWE. Here I am in a basement. I've called wrestling matches for the Hardys and so many other legends all over the world. But here I am in a basement because I wasn't good enough to be better than Vic Joseph. So I'm sorry, but I expect to see fucking perfection on WWE and in AEW when I am sitting here in a fucking basement talking about wrestling. So when I'm watching the wrestling on TV, and it's piss poor fucking promos and people being overscripted, overproduced to the point it's so cringy I want to stab myself with a dildo, it drives me up the wall because I know that out there's hundreds, thousands of talented wrestlers, and I know that even on the WWE roster there's talented people. And if you can't get that shit out of them, then you need to get someone that can. And if you're not letting that come out of them, then you need to fucking slap whoever's causing that, because you are losing your audience and you are losing the passion and fire that there could be if you were able to come out of the roboticness of your company. Charlotte Flair, I mean, my God. Listen, this Charlotte Flair in the ring is basically like, she's kind of like Triple H. She does all the same sort of moves and stuff like that, and she's really good, super good in the ring, really love it. And when she gets in there with someone else with good chemistry, they can really tear it up like Rhea Ripley did. But what the fuck with her promos? I mean, you can what is going on? Can you just become a cunt and just be a psycho instead of being like, the queen is here and I will tell you what I'll do? Like, what are you? What the hell kind of human beings are these?
They're not. They're robots.
Like, what in the world, dude? Ric Flair! Let me tell ya, we're coming out, and Daddy, we're gonna show your wife's picture, Macho Man. Woo! Yeah, we're gonna go. It's like, what happened? Where's the fire? Where's the energy? Where's the excitement? Where's the promo? Where's the meaning? It's all just, I'm the queen, I'm blah blah. Well, you can't be robotic because the faces are robotic. So if the faces are robotic and you're robotic, everyone's robotic. I don't give a shit about anybody. Listen, the 80s worked because they were these larger-than-life fucking characters are coming at you through the camera. So, like, even though it was goofy as hell, you were like, this is crazy. I want to see what happens next. You know, the Attitude Era. Oh, my God, that was really fire because people's mouth and mic skills were fucking fire. You know, so even in the 80s and the 90s when the promos were cringe by Hulk Hogan, you at least listened because the guy at least had passion. And when you go back and watch a lot of those promos, a lot of them are similar because they're all copying people, right? Like, let me tell you, Daddy, I'm coming for you this summer. I'm coming for you on Saturday. And I'm not doing Dusty Rhodes, by the way. I'm just doing any wrestler because they always said the same thing. Let me tell you, Jack, I'm coming out there on Saturday. It's going to be me, you, and Brian in a ring together. And I haven't seen you since the Silver Dome 2 years ago. And I remember when you twisted me. I remember when you turned me. I remember when you took all the money and beat me in the middle of the ring, and not a day goes by that I don't think about that. Not a day goes by that my kid says, Daddy, ain't that the guy who beat you? And I think about, that's the guy that took food off my table for my wife and kids, and I've had 2 years to think about it, Daddy, and this Saturday, I'm gonna take it all out on your ass in the middle of that ring, and I'm gonna embarrass you in front of everybody. And most of all, I'm going to have my wife and my kids in the front row, and they're going to be staring at their daddy because this time I'm going to make them proud, and I'm going to tell them, you're getting a new bicycle for Christmas this year because I'm going to step in that ring and beat 2 men under the bright lights. And that's why Sunday night, Saturday night, whichever night it is, you're going down, and I will be your world heavyweight champion, and I'm betting my whole family on it. And you're just like, oh my God, fuck, I don't even know, like, I want to watch that. I don't even know what the hell's going on. I just made up a story. But these people can't make up fucking shit. Sorry.
But you're right.
I'm going to snap. I'm going to lose
spot on. And that's what it all comes down to. We just don't. I wanted to let you just keep cutting that badass promo, but we just don't have enough characters nowadays. We don't have enough, everyone feels like a fan. They don't feel like wrestlers.
Right.
No one's larger than life. No one's overly entertaining. And then we have people that frustrate us. Like I mentioned last night, one of the stories I teased with Nia Jax, she's injured well over 15 people at this time. Her list is constantly growing, and there's always been this heavy criticism coming from the fans that a lot of wrestlers and people in the back defended her and said was unwarranted. Well, times are changing. And a lot of people say, like, her carefree attitude.
Well, I heard some of the women were calling her because of her, and this is terrible, but because of the camel.
Yeah.
They were calling her a woman that she has the women's sack.
Yeah. Well, the smell, too.
Women's
we heard
sack.
The smell that comes wafting out of the bathroom when she leaves.
There goes the satchel. People say there goes the satchel a lot. When the women are sitting in chairs and she walks by, there's like, and this is totally bully stuff from the women in WWE. Very sick.
Awful.
There goes the women's sack as she, like, that's, I mean, come on. That's really sick. Wrestlers and.
Not surprising, though. I mean, they're so cutthroat there.
Listen, I wouldn't have said it.
But people are genuinely just sick of her at this point, we're hearing. And it's becoming more of a common thing is where less people are there to defend her. They're tired of her feeling so aloof when people get injured or there's a problem or a botch. And part of it is her character on Twitter. We know this. We've obviously acknowledged this before. But really, it is her being like, nah, I'm fine, I'm perfect. And the frustrating thing is you see people like Keith Lee and Otis get sent back to the Performance Center because Vince allegedly doesn't like the way that they're wrestling. But Nia's injuring people time and time again. She's injured male superstars. She's hurt R-Truth. She's hurt females time and time again. She's dangerous in the ring. And I'm glad now it's actually finally really heavily being discussed in the back. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up. And last thing before the Rumble is Alex Shelley came out, gave a very long explanation as to why he wasn't there at Hard to Kill and for some of the Impact tapings. And that's because he's a physical therapy clinician. He actually works as a physical therapist, and he had to take care of his patients and his clinic. And because of COVID-19.
Who is it?
This is Alex Shelley from Impact, from the Motor City Machine Guns.
Wow, okay. Because that's what he's doing on his real job besides wrestling?
Yeah, his real job.
Side job.
Yeah, he said, wrestling is my livelihood, but physio is my livelihood and career. So he makes money from both, but, wrestling's his passion project, physio's his career.
Yeah, I get that.
And he said at the end of the day, COVID-19 mandates He didn't have enough staff, and because numbers went up, so did restrictions. He couldn't have all his patients there, so he had to be responsible to his patients. So thankfully, he's not sick. He didn't get fired. He didn't injure anybody. He did not. I mean, there was a bunch of crazy, wild stories out there as to why he wasn't making it. Some were pretty funny, but thankfully he's okay, and there's no issues.
I saw somebody that I've known for so many years. She's always been wonderful to me. Just, man, I can't tell you what a wonderful person and how sweet she is. Like, I'm so happy for her. I've known her for we're not like best friends or anything like that at all. Not even close. But I mean, like, whenever I've run into her, she's just been nice. We talk for a few minutes, and every time I run into her, every time I see her, she comes up and says, hey, like hi Joe, and like, hi to you. And I haven't seen her in 3 years now, but man, I don't know what she's doing, but I'm happy that she has some kind of a spotlight on her, at least in Impact. Alicia Edwards, she was doing something the other day on Impact. Like, I was like, what the hell am I watching right now? She had this whole promo she was cutting, like Southie gangster style or something like that. I was like, what the hell is this? Somebody mentioned it earlier, and I was like, yeah, I actually have to go back and watch it all. So, but it looked like she got quite a spotlight on that. So I have to go watch it. They said, what do you think about it? And I said, I really didn't see the whole thing. It looked pretty cool to me, but I didn't see the whole thing. I gave her a shout out for it, but I haven't watched the whole thing, so I got to go back and watch it. I'll let you know.
Well, there you go.
But good to see her getting a spotlight, because she's so nice. And of course, Eddie, and they're just both great couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Out of Massachusetts here. Good stuff, man. Always loved Eddie and them, and I went to wrestling school right before they went, so good shit.
Here you go. We don't know for the 2021 Royal Rumble yet whether or not Lashley will have a match with Matt Riddle. Even though they did everything in their power to build up the match on Monday, nothing's been officially announced. So we have 5 matches, including the 2 Royal Rumble matches. That's 3 fewer from last year. So maybe they're just planning on giving more time to the matches at hand. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
They also have been trying to run pay-per-view shorter in the COVID era. So that's a thankful change as well. And we might see this match added to the kickoff show. We're not sure. This is one of the things I was talking to Spaz about before. It's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
But I imagine if it goes on the kickoff show, then Riddle's definitely losing. But I think no matter what, if it does make it to the main card, Riddle's going to lose as well. I don't see them having Bobby Lashley drop the title yet. And especially the way Riddle was beaten so easily last time, I believe that Lashley will do the same thing again.
I would think that there'd be interference in this thing. And this is like going to be a continuing storyline for the TV show. So this is really just a bump in the road of continuing that story for TV at the Rumble.
If we get it, yeah.
If
it seems like we are, but we don't know for sure
And
yet.
certainly if it ends up on the pre-show, like it's probably a run-in type of deal.
And you have WWE making a return of the backstage show with Renee Young, funny enough. She'll be on there.
Why, we don't know.
But they're going to do that. That's when they'll reveal the number 30 participant for the Women's Rumble.
Oh, my God, dude.
And number 2 for the Men's Rumble.
Where is the clip of this? Oh, my God, we have to play this. I hate to do this because I should have queued this up. But I'm going to try to find it. I have a cut of... Fuck. I have a great cut if I could find it. Well, I guess it's not a cut because I didn't cut it up. But I have a great clip, if I had clipped it, of, oh my God, Wrestling Observer. Who is it from Wrestling Observer?
Brian Alvarez?
Brian Alvarez. I have a great clip. A beautiful clip of Alvarez. I have a great clip of him. And I don't remember where it is in the 10-minute clip, but I wrote it down. And now I don't know where it is. I'm looking at it and I can't fucking find it. But my God, he was talking about the Rumble. And, obviously we all agree. Like, being spoiled about the Rumble is ridiculous. We're watching the Rumble so we can be surprised. So we can be like, oh my God, this is exciting and I'm surprised. So to be like, oh, we're going to give away the Rumble. We're going to tell you who's number 30. Well, okay, now number 29 basically becomes the new 30.
Yeah, you just... circumvent 30 into 29, so that.
But they're going to tell you the number 1 and 2. They're going to tell you the number 1 and 2 spot too.
And I know they've done that in the past where they've had punishments, so now you're the number 1 spot, or people have won the number 30 spot. It's not a good idea. Don't do that. giving R-Truth and Carmella the number 30 spot last year, it was bittersweet because it was the silver lining of, all right, at least they won something for the mixed match challenge. Maybe it was the year before, whatever, but still they went ahead and you got nothing out of it because the surprise was ruined, and now you're just looking at number 29. So it's pointless to let people know. Let them have the surprises. That's why I was pissed that Edge said he was going to return. I know why WWE did it, because they don't have many things to make you tune into the Rumble. Yeah. So Edge being there is a huge draw. But that would have been such a better surprise. Had he cut the same promo he did on Raw and did everything the same, but say, I'm going to be at the Rumble Sunday, and then just have him show up at the Rumble as a surprise entrant again, would have been great. I don't know why they have to go ahead and do it this way, but
who do I prefer, Brian Alvarez or... Oh, God, that's not even close, man. Whoever said that in the chat, Brian Alvarez or Sap, oh, my God, that's not even... Sap is
I like Alvarez to begin with.
Sap is a scumbag dweeb. Now, he's a great reporter. He does a good job of getting information, so he's great information-wise. Great website, great job, all that stuff. He seems like he's a nice guy, but unfortunately, Sean, like, he's actually a douchebag who thinks he's better than everybody, and he's a scumbag type of guy, it seems like, and he's a little dweeb asshole. So I don't know. Sean Ross, not even close. Brian Alvarez, 100 times. All the way. Brian Alvarez is a radio host who can fucking talk and keep you entertained. Sean, his talking is annoying. When he fucking speaks, he's like a little dork who he just shouldn't. He's great at the website stuff, great at the news. He's great at that stuff. He's awful though on the reviews and stuff. He just copies all the titles we've ever made and other people have ever made. He just copies what everybody else does. I want to do a video show too, but he really just sucks. But he's great at the news stuff. He really is. But Alvarez,
I would take Alvarez over.
Yes,
no doubt about it.
And if Sappy Pants hadn't been a douchebag to me, I wouldn't talk shit about him. But listen, fuck him. But Brian Alvarez, no, absolutely, I'd rather listen to him 100 times. 100 times over. It's probably why you pay for him on F4W Online or whatever it is. I'd rather pay Brian Alvarez $30 a month than have to listen at all to anything, Cyclops has to say.
For free, yeah.
I swear to God.
Funny the way that works.
I hear him, I want to stab myself in the throat with something. But listen, hey, he's talented, though, in many ways, too. And I'm sure he might actually be a really good guy. He might be one of those guys that's, so nice and good that it's enraging or something. It could be that, and I'm misreading it, that he's not actually full of himself and stuff like that. But people think I'm full of myself, so it's, you know what I mean? I'm not. I'm a fucking loser idiot, wears a hat from the 90s. You know what I mean? I'm an idiot. But it's just, I can see that. But not if you're going to make me pick between those two. And Jim Cornette, and the next thing he said was Jim Cornette or Vince Russo. And now, I love Vince Russo for what he did in the Attitude Era, and I've also liked Vince Russo here or there on his stuff that he's done in the past. But I'd rather
just listen to Cornette talk.
Yeah, I'd listen to Cornette.
Storyteller.
Yep, and Cornette hates me. Vince Russo's... By the way, we've had Vince Russo and Cornette on this show.
Yeah.
Several times in the past. And Vince Russo ghosted me years ago, and Cornette literally blocked me and said, fuck off, and I hope never talk to me again, I'll kill you. But I'll still say, man, that I think they're both entertaining. I like them both. Vince Russo's a great genius, but Jim Cornette 100 times. He's the radio guy. He's the guy that's man.
I like listening to Cornette. He's just entertaining. So
random question, answer them, and we got to move on.
Hey, keep them with the chat. So
and I buried Cyclops.
I know we've been going long. People want the rest of the Rumble stuff.
Yeah, we got to do the Rumble stuff. Yeah,
this is so hard for me to formulate. You're gonna have to bear with me here. I'm all over the place tonight, and I know that, but it's all right. We'll do the women's tag team titles for predictions, and then I'm just going to spout everything like a total retard in a minute. But hey, we're going to enjoy it. So Asuka and Charlotte, tag team champions for the women's side, going against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Who do you got?
Say it one more time. I was reading something.
Asuka and Charlotte Flair, the women's tag team champions, against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They want the titles back, Nia and Shayna. Asuka and Charlotte are the champions. My guess, I think Asuka and Charlotte lose because Asuka's the women's champ. You don't need her with 2 belts. And Charlotte can't take the belt off of Asuka if they're the tag team champions.
You're 100%.
That's what it seems
100% going exactly with that, because Charlotte's going to take the belt from Asuka, but first they have to lose their tag team titles. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax can have a nice little tag match, probably Mania.
And I'm not the only one to say that. That's come up quite a few times. So, I mean, that's not an idea of my own personally, but I do agree with that being said. Nia and Shayna, I don't want to see them get the belts back here, but I appreciate what they're doing if they are going with this idea, because it seems like they're building up the NXT Dusty Classic for the women to face the tag team champions. So then the NXT winners for the female Dusty Classic will get a shot at the women's tag titles. So whoever wins that is going to go against Nia and Shayna, probably at the Valentine's Day pay-per-view, which I think will be good.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I get it. It makes sense.
And whoever wins the men's Dusty Classic gets a men's tag team title shot. So I imagine the women get the same. Spaz agrees. Everybody seems to line up with that. You agree. Works out.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Now, I'm disappointed with this because I would have rather have seen them keep Adam Pearce in this match, just because Kevin Owens already lost to Roman, and Roman said after beating him, several times, said, "I'm done with Kevin. I'm moving on. I've already done that. Been there, done that. That's it. That's all there is to this." And then he ends up getting the match with Adam Pearce set up, and then Pearce gets out of it, and Kevin Owens is the replacement. Kevin's going to lose here. Roman's going to Mania with the belt. There's no way around that. So Owens losing, that just hurts him to lose again, when you could have had Adam Pearce lose and done something kind of cool with it, because most people don't know that Adam Pearce is a professional wrestler, former NWA champion, and they made a brief mention of it on SmackDown, but you didn't see him in action.
Right.
So they could have really surprised people with Roman puts a few moves on him, and then all of a sudden Adam gets this great comeback, almost starts to get a little leeway on Roman, but then Roman takes him out. You don't want Roman to look.
Why not have a triple threat? Why not have Owens? Why not have Adam versus Reigns, and then they add Owens, and then
because then it's a handicap match, because Owens and because Pierce doesn't want the belt. He was just being forced into the match.
But that could change though. Why not build the story of this is, oh my God, Adam Pearce always dreamed of this, wanted this.
Yeah, because they could have. But they strayed away from that. So that's why I'm not shooting you down, but they shot it down.
No, I know that, but I mean, I would have done that. I would have done.
I would have avoided that too. I would have said, because they kind of made it sound like he never deserved to be in the WWF, WWE. They said back then when he was wrestling, he even himself said this, I wasn't at the level of a WWE wrestler.
Oh, he might not be really medically cleared, the Messiah says?
That's what he said, but I think that's what they went with the storyline. So I haven't heard anything about that being official.
Because it would be great if he was in the ring and he was like, listen,
that
Kevin,
was a work story as far as him being injured, so Owens replaces him. I haven't heard anything about him being officially injured.
Yeah, I know. I don't think he's injured. It'd be cool if he was in the ring and he was like, listen, Owens, Kevin, I got to be honest with you, man. At the Rumble, it's every man for himself, man, and I'm seriously going to take this very seriously. Like, I've never had a match in the WWE. At least
that would have given a sense of newness.
Well, he actually has years ago, but
yeah, but now just seeing Owens and Roman, knowing that Roman's going to win, takes a good deal out of it. So,
imagine if he screwed Owens in the match.
There's so much they could have done with
it.
Imagine
you're like, oh man, Adam Pearce has it out for Roman and everything, and then in the match, Adam Pearce is kind of staying away from everything and staying out of the way, and he's like, and he actually goes the other way with listen, man, I can't, even if I were to somehow win something, I couldn't defend it. I'm not physically, I got cleared, but physically I'm not in the shape. I can't do this, really, and I'm in this match, and so then he adds Owens to the match for whatever reason, because he can't do it, and he's just going to be in there. He goes, listen, man, I'm going to do the best I can for you out there. And, he tries to stay away during the match. And he kind of stays out of the whatever. Then finally he fucking ends up jumping in and hit, low blows Owens. But there's a bunch, these are all different crazy angles they could have taken if they made a triple threat, like you said. And then they could have either had Owens win the Rumble, or they could have had Owens with a vendetta against Reigns, or then it could turn into Owens versus Adam Pearce.
They need to get Owens out of the title picture, though, and into a program of his own.
Why not have him?
He works better as a heel, we know. So.
Why not him with Adam Pearce? So then
Owens is good as a face, but when he has a great heel to go against, that's why it worked well originally with him and Roman, even him and Shane, but he didn't win. Roman, beat him. Shane beat him. It's just so Owens loses as a face, and it's a problem. So I think Roman wins here, and that's what we get.
Okay, Anna Gonzalez says, I talk to Adam all the time. He doesn't want to wrestle anymore. He's happy with his position. No, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he doesn't want to.
If that's the truth, I just kind of skipped over that because I have no way to verify it. But
yeah.
If that is the truth, I'm sure he's happy with his position. But they could have had him wrestle for one match and do very, very little light work. I don't imagine that a former wrestler wouldn't want to do something else.
I'm excited for him. I was excited. I actually started, and this is why we're let down by it a little bit, because we know Adam, we know his work in NWA, we know all these things. So we kind of got like, and most people don't care, probably, right? So this doesn't matter anyway. That's why this doesn't matter. But to some people, like I think me and Jake and some of you guys out there, we kind of got excited, like, oh man, imagine all the years Adam Pearce, like, he gets to have this is awesome for him. I know he's on TV. That's already amazing. He's on TV. He's helping book stuff. He's a leader. He's a producer. He's an agent, whatever you want to say. But like, oh man, he's going to get to do it, whatever. And so people are looking at that for him, and he might be there thinking, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. But there's an element of people out there that started like, ooh, like, this is interesting. And then they kind of just took it right away. So not a big deal. It's just like there was this little bit of interest from some of the sort of hardcore, fans out there that have seen Adam over the years. And I think that's what we saw.
Injured either.
And he's not injured. No, I don't know.
No. And that's just storyline from everything that I'm reading now.
Right.
And on top of it, even as TSS said, even if you had him as a guest ref, that would have worked. But
right.
Moving on to the next match, Drew and Goldberg. Problem is, here's where I said I'm going to become a spastic idiot, because I don't know how to balance this right now. There's so many storyline implications that happen between different booking ideas and what's news, what's rumor, what's prediction. Like it's a mess. So here's what I'm getting at. Drew McIntyre and Goldberg, I've heard, is going every which way under the sun. Have you heard anything specific for this match yet?
I've heard all the bad stuff.
I've heard so much bad stuff.
But
the darkest timeline,
I'll tell you why there's a
clarification
problem.
I got on that stupid tweet with the darkest timeline is that Lesnar wins the men's rumble. He comes back, he wins the men's rumble. You can't have the crowd turn on it because there's no crowd. It's a Thunderdome, and they tell you who to cheer and boo for. And they have pumped in crowd noise, so the crowd will go nuts for that. The men's rumble is allegedly coming on beforehand anyway, so if they end it with the women's rumble, that'll be the surprise. We've been saying this. And we've also heard heavily rumored time and time again that one of the real things they were considering was that if Lesnar wins the Rumble, then they would have Goldberg win the WWE title.
What's the record with Lesnar and Goldberg? Hasn't Goldberg beaten Lesnar once?
I think they're 2-1, right?
Oh, who's got the win? Oh, somebody in the chat figure it out.
Yeah, they're
Somebody
2-1. WrestleMania 20, Goldberg won. Survivor Series, Goldberg won. And Brock won at the WrestleMania where they fought in that match for the Universal title. What was that, 33?
So
33, I think it was. So they're 2-1. So that would it's. But the thing that they're going at is that, all right, Drew is the WWE champion. Goldberg's never held that title, and Vince sees the big box office appeal in Goldberg versus Brock one more time. If it wasn't for the title, sign me up.
That's the thing is you don't need the titles. You don't need the titles.
Keep the title away from all the legends. And then I say this and I make my next case and I sound like more of an idiot. Keep the title away from the legends. But let John Cena win the Rumble. I know, I'm an asshole. But my idea with that is when you look at the possibilities of who could win the Rumble this year, and if they really want to tell a big story, one of my crazy booking ideas was let Cena win. Cena goes ahead. That's a big name. Now, tale of two stories. Cena wants to retire, but he can't do so until he breaks the record that Flair has.
Right.
So he wants to go to WrestleMania to get that title reign done and retire as champion. But there's Drew. Drew went ahead and never got to celebrate his win once in front of fans. All year, he's been the WWE champion.
Right.
He survived 3MB, being fired.
You want to make Cena heel? You want to make Cena heel? I want to make him heel.
I would love to, but even that, he doesn't have to be. They could still do face versus face here because they each have their own motivations. So Cena wants to be the champ so he can retire and break the record. Drew wants to defend the title successfully in front of fans, something he's never done. He's never defended his title successfully in front of fans because he didn't have the chance. He didn't win it in front of fans. He didn't lose in front of fans. You know what I mean? So when he lost to Orton at Hell in a Cell, that was in the Thunderdome. No fans. So that's part of his story. He can finally get that that ovation that he's been, earned, that he never got and was robbed of years before. So I think that kind of sets that up. It doesn't even have to be a retirement angle with Cena. It could just be him wanting to break the record, but now you get Cena in the Rumble, or you go with Edge winning. Edge wins the Rumble, and you go Edge and Roman, spear versus spear. Now you have a great babyface in Edge. Edge is about as close as white meat babyface as you can get right now, with a little bit of edge to him, no pun intended, or maybe there is. And then you go ahead and you have Roman, the Battle of the Spear, story tells itself. It's a lot of fun. That's intriguing, and you really don't know who's going to win, because I could see Edge taking the title off of Roman.
Okay, so Edge, I think you're dead on. And now I'm starting to really think that it does have to be Edge, because the end of the Rumble could be Edge, Cena, Orton, and other people, and like all these crazy legends that you wouldn't expect, or at least big names at the end of the Rumble. But here's the thing. Edge versus Roman is very reminiscent of Triple H and John Cena at WrestleMania 22. Very reminiscent. Now, I know that John Cena was supposed to be the face, but, the crowd was turning and they were cheering for Triple H a lot. It was like split.
Yeah.
And I think you could get a little bit of that, maybe, but you're going to have so many people cheering for Edge, and it would maybe be more like, I don't know, like Shawn Michaels versus Cena, but it's sort of like that big fight feel. So I love that idea of Edge versus Roman at WrestleMania, Battle of the Spears for the WWE World Title. Roman Reigns, and it's yesterday versus today.
Well, he's the Universal Champion, and Edge never held that belt.
Right, exactly. Okay.
So that would make him, a current World Slam, Grand Slam World Champion if they're going for that. So like I said, and then there's another heavy, some of those are my ideas, some of those are people's general consensus. Other people are discussing about Alexa Bliss winning. I've heard that, her winning the men's Rumble, not the female Rumble. Creative had actually discussed Alexa Bliss, a female, winning the men's Rumble. That is one of the things that blew me away.
Wait a minute. I was like, on the men's Rumble, you mean?
On the men's Rumble, even though she's entered for the women's Rumble, they had discussed at one point in time having Alexa Bliss win the men's Rumble with her Fiend character. It would scare whoever was there to go over the top rope. She wouldn't have to touch anybody. She'd win, and that would lead to the Fiend returning to take her place.
If they did that,
they would have the Fiend,
put a bullet in everybody's head. Put a bullet in everybody's head.
Yeah, that's horrific. So the Fiend would basically possess her body and use her as a vessel to win the Rumble and then take her place. And nonsense.
Man,
Dear God,
I don't know who said that, but I love the WrestleMania 22 crowd. They were so smarky and annoying. Fuck that, dude. The WrestleMania 22 crowd was awesome. That crowd was fire. Dude, the fact that
lively, the
fact that half the crowd was cheering so hard for Shawn Michaels and Triple H and like DX stuff, and they were like being nostalgic and crazy, and but yet so many people were still cheering for Cena, and it felt like a big fight. Fuck that. I'd take that crowd 1,000,000 times over the crowds we have now. The crowds we have now are garbage because of the product being garbage. So that crowd back then was great because you were seeing the old school fans. You were seeing the fans from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s firing up nostalgic-wise. And then you were seeing the newer fans that just began watching in 2002 and 5 all firing up too for Cena. And so you saw this clashing of excited fans, but everybody was into it. And they said it on the broadcast, and it doesn't matter who you're cheering for because the bottom line is everybody's into it. And I remember thinking, yeah, but fuck Cena. Fuck the people cheering for Cena. But in actuality, it's true. Everybody was into it, and that's the good thing. Nowadays... Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, everybody was into booing the Roman versus Brock match. Everybody wasn't into that.
Yeah, they hijacked that.
Yeah, they hijacked it.
See, that wasn't people enjoying it. That was people booing that out of the building.
A shit bomb.
Yeah, and
Cena, they just flipped.
You saw people just leaving, too? Remember WrestleMania when they were just leaving early?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
WrestleMania, you pay thousands of dollars to attend, and you're like, oh, I want out of here. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a lot of stuff there for the men's. These are news stories, predictions, podcasts, everything from, everyone on YouTube and all these different wrestling sites. So many people have said so many varying things. My idea was the Cena one winning. I genuinely, I think Edge will win. That's my guess.
Yeah, he's the
That's my prediction.
Safe bet.
I haven't been watching wrestling lately, but I'll watch the Royal Rumble Sunday. What are Bray Wyatt's chances of winning?
Bray is not in the Rumble, hasn't declared. We haven't seen him since he was burnt alive by Randy Orton. So in their Firefly Inferno match, it seems like they're being set up for him to return this Sunday. That seems to be what the whole story has been leading
Thanks,
up to.
Will Tactics. Maybe he'll just go after Randy in the Rumble.
Shit.
Well, Randy Orton took himself out of the Rumble. They were supposed to have a
yeah.
match at the Rumble, so now I don't know what the hell's happening.
JCS Foot Rub, thank you for the $4, man. If you guys want to get your donos in or get a question in or ask a question or say something, super chat down below, or I pinned it to the top. I pinned all the donation links, or the main link at the top there. All the links are in the description box below, and all the donation amounts are listed down below exactly, too. The triggers that are working right now are all listed down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a chat, whatever you got to do, whatever you want to do, or become a member down below, too. Love to see some green members.
I just wanted to bring this up. I still cannot believe that Bullfrog didn't even give one single Christmas present to his niece this past Christmas.
He is sick.
Like seriously, he bragged about spending $300 at the grocery but can't be a good uncle and buy a present.
That's a great point. He spent all that money on his gluttony, and he couldn't buy her even like a pony toy or a Barbie doll or
just anything. For the Vegas betting odds right now, if you're going from 6th all the way to first place, it's Drew, then Big E, Keith Lee, Lesnar's in 3rd, Edge is 2nd place, and the first place winner right now is Daniel Bryan for the Men's Royal Rumble. I would love to see Daniel Bryan finally win, and that's a great match for Mania if they set that up between him and Roman. Roman's a heel, Daniel's a great babyface.
I miss Barry Horowitz, the greatest of all time at putting others over.
Slappy Fez, thank you, man. I'll never forget. I saw him.
No doubt about that.
We would see Barry Horowitz at the town fair every year against Doink usually, or the Brooklyn Brawler or somebody. He'd be putting over the Brooklyn Brawler. Barry Horowitz would be putting over the Brawler or putting over Doink. One of the two. Slappy Fez, thank you, man.
They also have Roman Reigns at minus 1,500, so it's 1 to 15 for that.
Well, him and Reigns are married together. They're they're not on this level, but they're the Stone Cold Bret Hart of, they're the Shawn Michaels HBK.
Yeah, the kind of, yeah. I mean, I could really see that, and
they're the
I would
two
be
top guys
about that ending. I would like Daniel Bryan to finally get a Royal Rumble win and go to Mania. That'd be great.
A shit bomb.
Botch Club.
Yo, Joe, we making this happen?
What's up, brother?
Meet me in Woonsocket tomorrow, 1230. How's the beef barn? Let's get this done.
The beef barn, dude. I don't even know what that is, but let's go there. I want beef, roast beef, or what do you mean? The beef barn.
The beef barn.
Wait
That's
a minute.
what they used to call my mother.
Is that the place that's near Blackstone, Massachusetts? From Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I think my mother went to the beef barn the other day, and she brought us roast beef.
You become.
Look at that.
Is that
Your
the
mom
place?
went to my mom's beef barns?
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, hey, thank you, Alex. What's up, man? Thank you, brother. No, let me know, Botch Club. Is that the beef barn that's on the border of Woonsocket and Blackstone, Mass? Because I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. I know it sounds funny. My mother had the beef or whatever. But no, my mother came over with roast beef sandwiches, and she goes, I went to some place called something the beef, and I swear she said beef barn. Botch Club, let me know if that's the same place. That's really hilarious if that's the same place.
You become a shit bomb.
What an incredible promo, Joe. Crown.
Hell yeah. That was one of straight fire. And beef barn is definitely slang for vagina. Yeah, thank you, Cheek Buster. That's what I'm saying. My mom is definitely known as the beef barn.
Are you telling me I ate my mother's puss? When she brought the...
You brought it up, not me.
She brought the beef. I ate
bastard.
the fucking sandwiches. There's a better place in Millis that I like, but I also like the beef. Let me tell you something. The Millis one is amazing, but the one at the beef barn, the roast beef was amazing. Shit bomb!
You're the one talking about my mom's flank steak.
You become a shit bomb.
I'll eat out your mother's flank steak.
JK, keep talking and take more of my money.
Oh,
money
Alex,
back.
thank you. Thank you,
Hell
Alex.
yeah.
About to come
and
down
Randy
your money.
and Eric are right. Down the aisle. That's why the Rumble is predictable. That's why I always like it, because you can have all these silly fantasy booking scenarios and all these great things, and I know most of it's not going to come to, actual fruition. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But it's fun to theorize and fantasy book and enjoy it, and I
should go back
just
to
hope they
last
don't
year.
leave us fully disappointed.
What if
Last
I
year's Rumble
cash the
was
money
great.
in the bank on Roman Reigns?
What if oh no, the Miz is here, man. John Morrison's here too. My God, what if the Miz?
Funny enough, I actually have that on my notes here. I said, how come the Miz
cashing in?
How come he never goes ahead and tries to at least insinuate that he'll challenge Roman? He only goes after Drew. You have the Money in the Bank briefcase. You should be on either show seizing up your opportunities and like, oh, Owens just beat the hell out of Roman. The Miz should be running out there trying to get the title.
Right.
But, yeah, that's why I always look forward to the Rumble. Now,
don't dox yourself, Joe. Who cares, man?
Transitioning
there's a
to
guy
the
writing
women's
my
Rumble.
address everywhere. I don't care. Come get me, bro. I got a shotgun for you. Go ahead.
Shotgun and a crossbow.
Bro, I'll beat the fuck out of you. And I'll kill you, bro. You show up at my house, I'm not Boogie. I don't just point the gun and go, get out of here. I'll fucking kill you and drag you in the house.
I'll fire a warning shot.
Yeah, I'll fire a warning. Fuck you, dude. I'm firing at you. Like
I'll take you out.
Did you just donate to Joe?
You're dead.
Did you just donate to Joe? Thank you for the donation. And because you donated, I'm going to feast myself.
Here comes Randy Viper from like
in the bunghole.
40 minutes ago.
Randy Viper tipped $3. Joe and Jake, hope you doing well. All I wanna say is, it's time to play with your future champ Scrundle, the mighty bullfrog.
We should. I should play the Grundle song at the end. Yeah, Randy Viper. Thank you, man. Much appreciated, Randy Viper. We are doing well. I hope you're doing well out there in New Zealand. Sweet as, bro. Sweet as. Baby.
Hell yeah.
I don't get really worried about that stuff, man. Listen, my police department knows about it all. They'll take somebody out. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, beat the traffic chants. Those were great. Pity Game and beat the traffic.
That's so sad, dude. I never thought we'd see something like that, but then again,
I never thought we'd see AEW chants. That was the one that really shocked me in Hell in a Cell.
And dude,
that
how exciting was it that we heard the AEW chants that night? We were so mad, and then like we had Cody Rhodes on the show like a week or something, like after,
like 2 days later.
Yeah,
it was right after.
Oh my god, dude, the timing couldn't have been better.
Because AEW was just premiering. So.
Right, it was the second show in Boston.
Yeah,
it's too bad we didn't. Oh my god, I can't wait till we can maybe go again
back on the road and we can. Yeah. So speaking of getting back into action, WWE set up this long story with Lana getting put through tables so many times. It was what, 8 or 9 times. And then she won for the women's on the Raw side of things, the Survivor Series match by doing nothing. They continued to tell that story. Then she got taken out by Nia Jax at the top of her push when she was going for the women's tag team titles. But then obviously she got taken out and Charlotte replaced her, being Asuka's new partner. So Lana says that she's still in a cast and an ankle brace and still injured. But rumor has it that she will be involved in the Rumble this Sunday. Some people even predicted that she would be the one to win by doing nothing. I think that's so ridiculous. I can't see them going through with that. I can't envision WWE actually letting Lana win by doing nothing. Like the last 3 are in the ring. It's Lana, Shayna, and Nia. And Shayna and Nia eliminate each other, so Lana's the last one in. I don't know if I would just hate that to the point where I cancel my network or I laugh till my head explodes.
Right.
It would be one of the two, though. One of the two extremes. So more than likely, we will see Lana take out Nia Jax in the Women's Rumble. I think that's a planned spot that's going to happen no matter what. I think that's what they're going for to be the payoff for this. Because they're working hard at saying Lana's not going to be there. Now, Wrestling Observer Dave Meltzer is reporting that Rhea Ripley is going to be, she's already on the main roster. He's saying that she was supposed to debut a few weeks ago. They put it off. And now the time has come and she'll be debuting and winning the Rumble. He said that just makes sense. Other people disagree with Meltzer, obviously, and say that she'll be in the Rumble, but she's not winning. And they're actually giving the Rumble win to Ronda Rousey. Other people have also given the win to Becky Lynch.
How about Becky and Ronda go out at the same time at the end?
And then Lana wins, and that still leads to Becky and Ronda having a match at Mania, and Lana's the champion beating Asuka.
Oh, God.
Could you imagine?
Please shoot. No.
I mean, when you think about it, we could see Seth Rollins. We could see The Fiend. Aleister Black is another one. Jinder Mahal. Some people even jokingly Hurricane.
No,
we could see Samoa Joe. That's a possibility because he's been commentating for so long.
Wouldn't it be great if he pulled his jacket off, pulled his pants down, he had his wrestling stuff on, and was like, and just got in the ring, and it was like, whoa.
He was like, oh, I was hoping they would call my number, something like that. Yeah, just get your ass in there. Lesnar's another one, and then obviously 16-time world champ John Cena. Mm-hmm. So as far as Jay White goes, I really don't think we'll see him there. Lesnar's not a definite. I can picture Vince doing everything in his power to get Lesnar there, though. On the women's side, it really feels like we're probably just going to see Rhea Ripley be the only one from NXT. I don't think we're getting any other NXT women. It seems that Braun might be another one for the men's, but as far as the women's goes, I imagine we'll get a lot of, because we only have 12 women officially announced while they're still working on the Rumble match.
Jesus, I mean,
Nia, Charlotte, Bianca, Bayley, Mandy, Dana, Alexa, Shayna, Tamina, Ruby, and Liv.
I love it when we don't know
half.
half.
Official announcement.
Not knowing half is great.
Yeah, that's fine, but the problem is that they don't have enough of a roster to even really, I think they're, what did we say, 4 short for them to fill up the Rumble, and if they're not taking anything from NXT, then we know that legends are coming back. So I imagine we'll see Beth Phoenix again, since she's down in NXT and she's back. I'm trying to think. Rhea Ripley will definitely probably see. I would love to see Ronda Rousey come back, honestly.
Yeah, I think she's going to win. I call her winning.
Yeah, her contract has till April left, and that's it. They didn't extend it yet. I'm not saying it couldn't be extended, but she put in the full-time
probably
the first
Becky.
year and then hasn't been back.
I would think Becky or Ronda. Becky or Ronda would win.
A lot of fans are rooting for Bianca Belair.
Listen, I love Bianca Belair.
I just don't think it's her time.
But now that she's blocked me, I hate her. I take it back. I don't like her anymore. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love Bianca Belair, and we've raved about her since NXT. Loved her forever. I think she's going to be great. I think it's too soon for her. I think Bianca Belair is like, do you know when you watch a person in the Rumble the year before they win it, like you go back and you're watching the old Rumble and you see Shawn Michaels, like he doesn't win it, but he has a good performance, and like Stone Cold comes out when he whatever, but then the next year he's like dominant. This is her year, I think. I think next year she could win it or do something crazy, but I think this is
she looked good last year in the Rumble as well.
Yeah,
but she had a good introduction last year. I don't think that makes her ready to win it. As far as the Vegas betting odds, 3-2 odds for Bianca Belair, 3-1 for Alexa Bliss, 4-1 for Charlotte Flair, 11-2 for Rhea Ripley, and 7-1 for Ronda Rousey, followed by Bayley and then Becky Lynch.
Well, we got to think about this. How do we got to have Charlotte win a belt or Rhea Ripley win a belt? So Rhea Ripley, somebody's got to win the Rumble.
Charlotte beats Asuka
for the title.
Charlotte and Asuka lose the women's tag titles. Then Asuka and Charlotte challenge each other because they break up as a tag team.
And Rhea Ripley wins the Rumble.
Charlotte turns heel. She wins the title from Asuka at the next pay-per-view.
All right.
Rhea Ripley wins the Rumble and goes on to beat Charlotte at Mania to make up for her losing last year.
I think that's my favorite option. And in the match, at some point in the match, Ronda Rousey returns or Becky returns. I would have Ronda return first. In the match, she's dominant. She eliminates like 4 women, and it's just Ronda left. And then
I would have Becky return last.
And then Becky returns after that, and Becky walks down to the ring to face off against fucking Ronda one-on-one, and this is like in the first 10 women. And that's crazy. So you have that going on, and then by the end, it's actually Rhea Ripley that wins, and she'll end up facing Charlotte, because Ronda and Becky...
I would do Ronda like 22.
Don't need to
Becky
win.
like 26, and I would do Rhea like 29.
I'm worried about that only because then that leaves a lot of women are eliminated at the end. I'd rather have like...
Well, you can have Ronda clear house when she comes in at 22. That gives her like 8 people to eliminate. I think the record is 9 for Shayna Baszler last year.
I don't mind that, but she
doesn't have to go completely nuts, but she can clear the ring out of most people, and then to have nobody there, Becky comes in, and then they have their big fight. That would work.
I want to say that Ronda's 10, and by the time Ronda comes out, there's 6-7 people in the ring still, and then a few people get eliminated. Then there's only 4 people in the ring, and then Ronda eliminates the 4 women at a time or throughout, and then you get Becky coming out number 11 or 12 or something like that.
You can even do something kind of cool with Shayna and Ronda, kind of teaming up and then having to face against each other at first before Becky comes out. Because Shayna got rid of everybody, by herself in the chamber last year. And then, with them being their own 4 horsewomen, they could do even like the 4 horsewomen versus kind of thing if they wanted to. 2 and 2. And
listen, I love Bianca Belair. So if Bianca was going off and won it, I would pop for that. because I'd be pretty excited because I like her. I like her a lot, man.
Alexa just seems like a way too obvious of a choice, and I think
she doesn't need it. She doesn't need that at all. She's doing
She's got
great.
a whole story, and she
there's no
just
need.
Doesn't need the title. It doesn't elevate her in any way.
I'll be honest.
At this point.
I'll be honest. Listen, I hate to say this. I am a little butthurt that Bianca blocked me. Like it's just,
I don't blame you, but that's not why I
I'm actually like, why did she block? What the fuck? Why did Bianca Belair block me on Twitter?
I know that's what's confusing because
it's so stupid. Like, but it's dumb. But it has it doesn't bother me, but it does. Like, I can't lie. I think it does because I love this person and I'm always propping them up for years. And then you're like, they blocked me. Like nobody has really blocked me except for Road Dogg. But I get why that happened. But what the fuck? Bianca blocked me. Why the hell would Bianca block me? I've been literally raving about her for years. And so it's like, what? Like that's like there's a little irritation there where I'm like kind of like fuck her. Like, but like I know that. Listen, at the same time, she doesn't know who I am or anything. Who cares? Like she probably just was like, oh, this is like a troll and this is a troll. I'll block them all. She has no fucking idea. Stop taking it personally. But I can't help it. It creeps into my head sometimes, and I'm like, well, fuck her. But like I'm a psycho, bro. But listen, I do like Bianca. So like coming down to Bianca and Rhea, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Ronda, Becky, and then maybe one or two other women at the end. I think that'd be a pretty good fucking ending. Whoever wins.
I don't disagree with you there. I just know that they're trying to make it exciting, pull out all the stops, and have us, be surprised with the Women's Rumble, it really seems like. So letting us know the first two, I don't even want to guess into that, but I am excited to see how this turns out. So it's been shitty booking, but every year I always get excited for the Rumble. I just can't help it, and I'm hoping that they really go ahead and pull out a hell of a show, because last year it was a great Rumble. The women's was okay, but the men's was fantastic, and a lot of great moments. I'm hoping this year the women's shines more, especially if they're practicing so long ahead of time. Mm-hmm. We'll see, but yeah. All in all, what Meltzer's saying, she's going to debut and win. Other people say it's Belair. I'm glad there's not last year we pretty much knew that Drew was going to win it. It seemed that way, but there was still the tale of two Rumbles, who beats Roman and then who beats the Rumble itself, who wins itself.
Yeah.
So at least this year we get some kind of other story with it. And on the women's side, that's good, because the men's, we really don't have any intrigue going into it.
If you guys are near a phone right now, you want to hit that like button, because there's a podcast out there that only has 150 people watch them about wrestling. And I sometimes I'm in there, and I watch their likes on their stream, usually average of 150 people watching live, and their likes are at 350 almost at the end of every show. So either we're doing something wrong or people's like buttons don't work. Why the fuck don't we have 500 likes? So we got to hit that like button. I mean, if you love this show, if you go to the mailbox every day, if you pleasure your wife with your fingers, if you get up to have a coffee, if you jerk off, there's no reason why right now you can't stick that like button, that thumb, directly up my ass. There's just no reason why the thumb isn't up my ass and why there isn't 200 likes. I mean, this just is crazy. This little pipsqueak show with 350 likes, and here we are, 169 after 2 hours. Something's wrong. Shit bomb! We get more donations than they do.
You become
Randy Viper,
a shit bomb.
New Zealand. Here it comes.
I don't want Roman to lose to anyone at Mania, lol.
Randy Viper, thank you, man. If there was a face who was over the top and they were killing it, it would be such a great time for Roman to be this asshole heel, be the champ, be the bad guy, and for that face to overcome him. But right now, we don't really have a face that's like that, and the closest
that's
thing
why I
is,
said Edge would be a good person to insert, because that's a ready-made babyface that the crowd will get behind, and actually, because no one wants to boo Roman.
Edge to set up Mania match.
Right.
I think Daniel Bryan is gonna. You remember saying years ago heel Roman versus Bryan would be money. You missed Sasha versus Carmella, but I think Sasha wins. Sasha Ripley Mania.
Alexis Sweetass, thank you. Now, I agree that
Sasha and Carmella is not officially announced for the card yet, so.
Oh, okay, that's not even on there. Years ago, Daniel Bryan and Roman would have been the match, but it's not really there anymore, because Daniel Bryan has cooled down so much, And in fact, over the last 2-3 years, Daniel Bryan as a face has been a 6 out of 10. Daniel Bryan as a heel was an 8 out of 10. So Daniel Bryan's been a better heel in the last 3 years.
You become
Nazmul Hussain.
a shit bomb.
Nazmul Hussain, thank you for the 99 cents, brother. Thanks, dude. What's up?
WWE is bringing
Hussein.
back After the Bell podcast, and the guest there is Goldberg. He's getting brutally honest and kind of doing what they did with Undertaker, so that's interesting.
Wait, say that again? Go back again. My brain wasn't caught up to you.
It's Goldberg. He's going to be on the After the Bell podcast. That's coming back finally with Corey Graves.
Oh, good. Yeah,
So-
Corey does a good job. He really does. It's a nice little
Yeah.
podcast. It really is nice.
You become
Shout out to
shit
Corey
bomb.
Graves. I've shit on him a lot, but
Man, I wish I had this on video, but someone I know in a nursing home after getting the vaccine thought they were a rooster and kept clucking lol.
Jesus. Are you serious?
All right.
New Japan Wrestling fan, thanks for the $5. That guy doesn't make stuff up either. That's weird. That's probably really true. I mean, that's not the worst thing. That's not the worst
No.
thing that could happen. You get Bell's palsy. That's something you don't want.
that you
to
don't
remember
want. Yeah, right now
WrestleMania
we only
gonna
have the
be
5
first
matches,
show
and we
in
did
front
talk
of
about
fans in a
the.
long time. Vince isn't going to have someone win that isn't massive over in fans' eyes. I like Bianca, but that's why I don't think she wins. She not over enough.
Yeah,
If not over, then just not.
but it's hard to tell who's over.
recognizable, and
It's
you
hard
don't
to
have to
tell.
be like most popular, but you do have to be easily recognizable.
How do you tell who's over? You can't really tell who's over. There's no crowd.
That's what I'm saying, but that's why at least now you can go with who's recognizable and who has some form of star power. And Bianca is still too fresh on SmackDown.
Great
Not enough
point.
people know of her. She hasn't had that many matches.
No,
She's having a mini feud with Bayley, but that's a build up to the Rumble. That's it.
It's such a good point that you go with people that are already proven to have been over, because you really don't know exactly how over everybody really is because of what's going on. Now, the only thing you can look at is ratings, viewership, feedback on social media. That's about it. And then shows like this. And this is a weird thing. I wonder if they're watching more reviews and more things than they've ever watched to see where people are. I don't know if that's true. They could be watching nothing. Probably nothing. Probably Vince don't care. Probably Bruce Pritchard doesn't care. But some of the other people involved maybe are looking around all over the place for what are people saying, because there's no crowd fucking feedback. So, I mean, and so they're looking at what's trending on Twitter, what are merchandise sales like, what are Raw ratings at certain times. That's got to be the biggest thing they can really look at. Like, and how they felt in the back, how it looked, how did it come off? Like, man, she bombed on that. Let's go some, I mean, I don't know. And were they really listening before anyway? So, it's all that stuff to think about. By the way, Joe Compton, thank you, man. I actually left him up for a long time. It really should have been Soundwave, the top dog.
Yeah, the one and only Soundwave. And Randy Viper, I don't know. I might have Edge beat Roman, but I might not. It depends on if Edge is sticking around. If he's going to be more regular, then yeah, have him beat Roman. But if he's not, then no. Have Roman beat him and get put over even more. And that's when, right then and there, Vince decides, I need to find who I want to be my next babyface, and they go all in with him. Whoever it is that they feel months down the road they're going to build to challenge Roman, they need to start working on that person then and there. The night after WrestleMania better be the starting point to build up a new babyface if you have Roman beat Edge. You need to build somebody by SummerSlam, the latest.
Unless you have an Eddie
ready
Kingston
to take on Roman.
It's hard to build a new guy with no crowd. I mean, unless you have...
It is, but at least we're getting back into small crowds post-Mania.
If that
they
can
wanna
happen...
get back on the road for some things, so...
If that can happen, then you're good. But if they can't do that, then it's going to be hard. Unless you have a guy like Eddie Kingston, Stone Cold, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, somebody who can grab a microphone and talk like a lot and be like, oh, wow. The segments with this guy... all people rave about is this guy's promos. Like, you need a guy that can do that, and how do you do that? I don't know. So unless you get that, it's, you're kind of just blindly saying, like, we think this guy's got it, let's go with him. That's all you're doing every time. We think this guy's got it, let's go with him. We think this guy's got it, let's go with him. Because there's no, wow, they love him, or they're loving this, or wow, the crowd really popped for that, or whatever else. But then again, in the past, that's happened, and they just buried that too, man. What the fuck, dude? Look at Rusev. Rusev Day. They're going crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, we made the T-shirts like 2 months too late, and then we pushed it like way too late, and then it was dumb. And then
because Vince always thought it was a joke. He
Yeah.
thought that no one actually got behind Rusev.
Wade
so-
Barrett. Oh, I've got some bad news for you. Oh, we're going to stop doing that. Oh, but everybody liked it. Why'd you stop doing it? I don't know. Crowd was reacting well. The guy should have had the gimmick for years. Why didn't he have it for years? Why didn't he have the Wade Barrett gimmick for years, wrestle, and then eventually transition into an announcer where he's basically like the new type of Jerry Lawler? You know, like he's got the gavel, he's at the side, he's like the Jerry Lawler color commentator, and he goes, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I'm on commentary again, tonight with all you idiots, like, stuff like that. You could have totally transitioned him into but no, I guess just let him go. Let that talent go. And now he's back, whatever. But it's still like, man, Wade Barrett on the main roster as a color commentator works great. Wade Barrett in NXT, good, but Nigel McGuinness is better. Nigel McGuinness works better in NXT. Wade Barrett works better on the main roster. But they lost Nigel McGuinness because of COVID, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. Because Nigel and Morrow called NXT like it was a real fucking sporting event, and it actually was good. I actually was really good. And I don't know. Anyway, let's not go down that road. Are we almost done with the predictions, or do we?
That's
do we
it.
nail
That's
everything?
all the matches. We are done, baby.
Man, we got
That's
one more
everything
dono.
that's announced. If they
Shit,
do Sasha
Bum.
Banks versus Carmella, I'll say
I would
Sasha
have Randy
Banks,
Orton in the Rumble and have him stand in the middle of the ring for his next opponent. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The lights go out. Fiend comes up on the screen. Light turn on. Bo Dallas in whole different character, and now he's with his bro.
Jeremy, thanks for the
That could be
$5.
cool, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
that's
know if I
super
would add anybody
predictable.
else to Bray at this point.
Very predictable. The only thing that I could take from that is that I don't think they'll do that, but instead of that, I mean, I would rather go with Fiend comes out of from underneath the ring, eliminates Randy. Now, what you could do is say Randy Orton is in the Rumble, and he lied to everybody because he's smart, and he goes, I wasn't going to tell people I'm in the Rumble, like, and he actually draws like number 25 or something. And so Randy is in the Rumble, but he told people that he wasn't. I'm not going to be in the Rumble. I'm not going to enter the Rumble. All he has to do is say, I'm not going to enter the Rumble, then go in the back and go, you know what, I am going to enter the Rumble. Put me in the Rumble. Don't tell anybody. You know what I mean? There's no reason why he can't do that. So that'd be really cool. I think they should have done that. So I wonder what he's going to be doing at the Rumble, right? Maybe he's going to show up in the Women's Rumble and eliminate Alexa. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe Jesus. I just hope that keep Alexa and The Fiend out of the Rumble. They don't need anything to do with the actual Rumble. They don't need to be winning the Rumble. Neither one of them. Keep that shit out of there, Jeremy. I love you, though. Keep it out of there. Randy Orton doesn't need to be there. Nobody needs to be there. Unless Randy's there because he's like, fucking, you thought I wasn't going to be in the Rumble? You're fucking stupid. Here I am. And then, The Fiend shows up, comes because he knows he doesn't want to give away that he's going to be in the Rumble. Then The Fiend comes from under the ring, surprises Randy, takes him out of the Rumble, and he's like crazy looking, all charred, fucked up demon. Or maybe Alexa comes from under the ring and eliminates Randy. Fuck whatever. Who cares? That would make sense because Randy Orton just RKO'd her. So it makes sense if Randy was in the Rumble. I think I got one over on everybody.
And she eliminates him.
And she eliminates Randy by coming up from
but
under
she
the
doesn't
ring.
need to win the Rumble.
No, she's not going to.
Like people are saying,
she's not even
that's
in the
too
Rumble.
far.
She's not in the Rumble. She just comes from under the ring.
She just comes out and eliminates him. Yeah, perfect.
Boom.
I'm fine with that.
Boom. There you go. That's how Joe would have booked it. Randy lied. He's in the Rumble. And the announcers can really put that over, too. Wait a minute, what the hell? Randy said he wasn't in the Rumble. And then it's like eventually, Joe or Corey or whoever's on commentary is like, you idiot. Yeah, he said he wasn't in the Rumble. He is in the Rumble, though. This guy's a genius. Oh, my God. Randy Orton. Nobody was prepared for Randy Orton. Well, that's the idea, dummy. Like, he's smart. You would have told everybody you were in the Rumble and given your shit away, But Randy Orton's a guy. Randy Orton's a genius, and he's a sick genius, and he's a multi-champion. He's he's a legend in the WWE, and now there's only 5 men left in the Rumble, and here comes a former world champion who's got one of the most sadistic smiles on his face I've seen in a long time. Look at Randy Orton's charred face, like oh my God, they put it over big, but then. It looks like Randy might win, but nope, here comes Alexa Bliss from under the ring, and she fucking goes crazy and fucking waffles the shit out of him out of the ring. But then you're going to have people saying stuff like, dude, Randy Orton was eliminated by a woman, by Alexa Bliss. You know? So it's got to be done the right way, or it needs to be The Fiend. I mean, I think The Fiend actually now might be better. Like, he comes from under the ring, and holy fuck, it's The Fiend! And then he takes out fucking Randy, and who knows what the hell. And I mean, I guess that sort of sets them up for... Who was that sets Randy up with The Fiend at WrestleMania, because they've had such a long... This is a long story that's going to Mania. And it makes sense because now Edge is not paying attention to Randy anymore. Edge is focused on Roman. So Edge and Roman, Fiend and Randy, or maybe it's I don't know. So I don't know. That's where I am right now with my thought process. You can tell me.
I like the way you have it booked out there. I'd rather see Randy lie, like you said. Okay, he's actually in the Rumble. He said that him being burnt was the reason for taking them out.
I'm sorry. Seth Rollins says, I'm coming back babyface.
Coming back babyface. I've heard that as well, and that's something that seems possible. I do think we will see Seth return. I don't know about heel or face, but I'd rather him be a heel still.
I'll tell you what. They are in desperate need of faces that are over.
They need faces, so that's likely what he'll be.
But they don't. They need faces that are over. Like That's
why I'm worried about Seth. He'll get some nostalgia immediately. Like people will come back and people said, "What if Seth wins?" Then we get Seth versus Roman, face Seth, heel Roman, and the Battle of the Shield at Mania. I'm not against that. I don't hate it, but I'm not as crazy with it as I am with some of the other ideas. So.
I'm sorry. Drew just sent me a video of me saying, "Here I am in a basement."
Yeah, in the basement. I was cracking up over
that. You know what, though, the difference is? Because, there'll always be, and this will be, like, this is why you can't let people drag you down, anybody out there who gets sad about people or whatever. Like, dude, there'll always be some kind of insult, right? Like, oh, Joe, you're in your own basement. Or, like, Jim Cornette says he's in his mother's basement. And it's like, dude, I really was. I was really in my mother's living room before. We used to do the show literally, really, from my mother's living room. And now I'm in my basement, and someone goes, "This loser's in his basement." And it's like, yeah, I am in my basement of the house I bought because of my show. I mean, is that supposed to make me go, oh, no? Like,
hey, you got a house, and my fat ass that couldn't wheel the fridge lost weight, so I guess JD's 0 for 2.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't want to put this on him. He's not, I'm talking about other trolls, but... Yeah, I mean, you're right. He did have but I mean,
first person that comes to mind when you say you couldn't.
Yeah,
get a house.
Listen, I know, and it's good to stick it to him, but at the same time, I shit on him a lot. So his shit talk back to me, and my shit talk to him. I mean, I went after his cats. He went after my family and my living situation. We both apologized to each other for that. But the troll people out there is really what I meant. The people that just say goofy shit like that. It's like, dude, it's literally it doesn't bother me because I'm in my house that I bought. Because of the savings that because of saving for 12 years and because of doing this show and you guys being patrons and donating and whatever else. So like that stuff, dude, that will never, dude, I'm in my fucking office in my finished basement. Yes, because my family lives in the real part of the house and this is where we play. So it doesn't make me sad that you say I'm in my basement. So when I say I'm in my fucking basement and put myself down, I mean, listen, I am putting myself down, but it's nowhere near, it's not a down put. I mean, yeah, I got to fight every month to make the mortgage, and I got to do the right things. But listen, shit bomb. It's not like
you become a shit bomb.
I laugh when people say that.
Anything is content. Keep climbing.
1609. Thank you for the $4.99. 1609. Anything is content. Keep climbing. I think I know what he means. I'm just going to take that as motivation. I'm going to take that as motivation, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, we will derive from the Royal Rumble for a second here as we stop to listen and look because Bullfrog, the one and only Bullfrog, is on hold. Bullfrog, what do you have to say, man? Is this about the Rumble or what is this about, Bullfrog?
Yeah, I have a prediction about the Royal Rumble first. I think... Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are going to be in it somehow. And I think Lesnar and Roman Reigns are going to be the last two in the Rumble. And I think either Roman or Brock is going to win.
So Roman's going to be in the Rumble even though he's defending his world title?
Yeah, because see, he's going to lose the belt at the Rumble, and that's how he's going to be put in into the Royal Rumble.
So you're going the opposite of what other people are saying. Some people are saying Goldberg will beat Drew, and Drew will enter the Rumble and win that way.
Oh shit! The champ is here too. The monetize this
shit.
champion is here.
Yes.
Casey is Raw.
The one, the only.
Oh my
Casey.
God.
But
Casey.
yeah, I think either Roman or Brock is going to win the Royal Rumble this year.
Okay, I'd go with Brock over the Roman thing.
I don't see
can't
Roman
believe.
losing, but I get your point. And I don't, if Drew loses, then he would enter the Rumble. We've kind of seen that thing, and I'm not sold on it, but I can see
Joe,
Lesnar
play my
winning.
Goldust music for Casey. I have something to say to him.
Wait a minute. What are you gonna say to Casey, Bullfrog?
Play the Goldust music.
Like Goldust's music?
Goldust, baby. Play the Goldust music. That is my theme.
I'll get a copyright if I do that.
Well, play an alternate version, bitch.
All right. Well, here it is. Here he is, the Bull Turd. By the way, this is the most fire theme ever.
It is now my theme song. Casey, you do not deserve to win that belt. You bought your way into the belt. Drew paid you for the belt. And now I am going to take that precious belt from you. Because you did not deserve that belt. Everybody wants the Bullfrog to be the champion, Casey.
Oh, I'm sorry, Casey. Let me get your mic on. I don't have your mic off. Go ahead, Casey. Now you're up.
Bullfrog, if you win this belt from me, I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down. And I'm not gonna fake it like JB did. I'll burn the fucker down. If
wait.
you
And
win.
that's why you don't deserve the belt.
Don't burn the
Casey.
belt.
That's why you don't deserve. You cheated. You have a fucking J-Man for KC. Buy your way into the fucking belt. You never earned it. You never got no
Hold
real
on.
points for it.
How did I cheat when someone donated for me to win?
You told J-Man to vote for you so you could win the belt.
Oh, Bullfrog's saying it's rigged.
You're a son of a
you
you're a
raised
son of
the
a bitch,
fucking belt.
Bullfrog. Listen, monetize this is tomorrow night, Bullfrog. Are you saying this
That's
this
why
shit
I'm
is
cutting
rigged?
all my promos, Joe. I can't be on monetize this.
Oh, the,
I cannot be on the show, baby.
the belt isn't on the line tomorrow, so it's okay.
I'm prepping myself up.
Let me ask you this: how many chromosomes do you have, Bullfrog?
I have a lot of chromosomes, Joe. This is the Hollywood production of Bullfrog. Can you smell it, Casey?
It smells
Can you
like
smell me winning that belt from you?
smells like tard.
Nope. I don't think you have a shot in hell, Bullfrog.
I am going to be
Honestly-
the next champion, Casey.
Now, wait a
'Cause You know
second.
why? Because I got the JCS Army on my side this time.
Bullfrog, I'm pretty sure everybody hates you. I don't think that.
No, they
I-
love me, Joe.
I don't know, man.
Because
Based on the chat,
when I
it's-
win, Joe, we're going to say, we did it, Joe. We did it.
you're gonna be Joe Biden. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I'm going to be Kamala Harris in action.
Well, you know what? If Bullfrog was a child, Joe Biden wouldn't diddle him.
Oh
or
my God!
snuff
What's
him.
up with you and children all the
Casey,
time?
I would have diddled you so good, you're going to make you wish you're going to lose that belt. Because I
All
would have
right.
diddled you so hard.
Good God, man. Well, all right. What the hell's wrong? What's wrong, dude? Bullfrog, let me
Wow,
tell
they're
you
gonna
something.
diddle each other.
Bullfrog, do you
Jesus.
have any? Let me ask you something, Bullfrog. Do you have any felonies? Do you have any felonies?
No.
Are you serious? I'm gonna
that's
look it
what
up.
I'm aware of.
I'm gonna do a background check. Are you sure?
Yeah, because I couldn't live in my apartment if I didn't have
Okay.
any background.
Let me ask you, Casey. Do you have any felonies?
Not that I know of.
No warrants that he's responded
Because
to.
I don't want, because I'm worried, man. I'm worried that there could be a, monetize this champion with warrants. I mean, that could be bad.
That's why I'm prepping myself up because I cannot be on the show. But see, Joe, if I win the belt, then I have to defend the belt on the show.
All right. Well, listen.
Actually, you know what's funny? That I actually had an ex-girlfriend look do a background check on me before.
Oh, you got.
All right, I wouldn't have admitted that, but
Yeah. Wow.
Casey's got a caution.
Was she good at fucking you? Was she good at fucking you, Casey? Did she ride you good, or like what was she like in bed?
I actually like to do all the effort. I'm the one who does all the motions.
Oh, really? So
That's
she just
why
laid there. She just does the background checks and stuff, and looks at you and lays in bed.
Casey, that belt you have on your shoulder is going to be on my shoulder soon.
Oh my God.
he wants that belt bad. Yeah, see, Casey, you were the opposite of me. See, when I
Bullfrog,
was
do you
super
even know
fat,
how to
I had
ship?
to be on the bottom. I didn't want to squish her to death.
I don't think Bullfrog knows how to ship a belt.
Joe?
I don't think you know
What,
how to
Joe?
ship. I think if you had the belt, like we'd never see it again because I don't think you know how to ship things. Like I don't think you would have.
I know how to ship things. I would have my brother just ship it.
Oh, so you don't know how to ship it? You'd have your brother do it. Okay, I was right.
At least it get done.
Thought it was right.
I would have somebody from my family ship it for me if I lost the belt.
Could you ship Casey your niece?
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you pay me. Yeah, if you pay me extra.
Wow, you would really do that. So you would really ship your niece for money. That's crazy.
look
He
at
admitted
that.
right there. Wow.
Yeah,
Breaking news.
He's got to pay extra.
Everybody's
Well, if
got
that's
a
the
price.
case, I know a few buyers. Talk to me off air, Bullfrog.
Yeah.
Joe, I thought we were going to be family members. You know.
Well, how
I
much?
thought I was going to. I thought you was going to be part of my family.
How much to cut her pussy off? All right, listen. So you guys. So Casey, real quick, who's going to win the Men's Royal Rumble, the WWE 2021 Men's Royal Rumble? Casey, go, Casey.
I'm going to say Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan from Casey is Raw. Bullfrog, who's going to win the Men's Rumble?
Roman Reigns by the skin of his teeth. He's going to lose the belt.
Okay, wait a minute. Why would he lose? Wait a minute. What the fuck did you just say?
I get what he means. He's going to lose the belt
Because
and enter the Rumble.
they're prepping Kevin.
My God.
Because bro, they've been prepping Kevin Owens the last.
They're shooting myself.
I don't know how many times they've been prepping him.
They've been prepping him. Okay, but how is so Roman's going to lose his belt, his match against
To
Owens,
Kevin Owens.
and then but he's going to be in the Rumble and win the Rumble.
Yeah, and that's how he's going to
Okay.
be. And that's how he's going to go to Mania as the #1 contender.
Okay,
You know, you remember Roman did that
he
before,
did that. Yeah, he already
where-
did it. Go ahead, Casey. You're right.
Like he did that before. He lost an opportunity for the belt, and then he showed up at the Royal Rumble. Pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I was one of them.
I was enraging, by the way.
Yeah, that was.
I'm
the thing. So
enraged.
we don't want to see that
Casey's
again.
asshole.
But then I could see if they do that decision, I could picture Vince, because Goldberg's still bitching about the fact that he didn't get to face Roman last year, win or lose. Goldberg was talking about it earlier. He was addressing fans that say they don't like the way he's booked. And Goldberg's like, I just go out there and I do a job. I don't worry about who's winning. I don't worry about who's losing. I'm there to provide a service, and I do it with a smile on my face. Bullshit, because you politicked your way to win the title against The Fiend. You care about winning. You said you wanted to be seen as a superhero to children. So don't give me that bullshit, you hypocritical cunt.
Tell him, Jake. Tell him, Jakey.
Fucking nonsense. But I could see them because of that. You know, watch. Roman loses the belt to Kevin Owens, then he wins the Rumble, and then Goldberg beats Drew, and then Roman challenges Goldberg just to fucking piss us off, right?
Damn.
What? He challenged him like right at WrestleMania or for the next pay-per-view?
No, he'd challenge him. Roman would win the Rumble, and since Goldberg would have the title
Oh.
now, he would challenge him at Mania for the belt.
That's why I think Roman's going to lose the belt to Owens, and Roman's going to win it.
Watch Bullfrog be right. I'll shit my pants live on JCO.
Oh my God. That would
You
be
can hold me
fucking-
Shit that pants, Jakey. Shit it why.
Oh boy. There are the new donation amounts are listed below. Somebody asked the current live donation amounts are all listed in the description box below. Expand the description. You guys will be able to see all the donation amounts. Took me hours to update this list last week, and these all should work down below. If you want to let us know, drop a dono for Casey, Bullfrog, Jake, or myself tonight. And we've really went over a lot of things. Okay, so Casey, back to you real quick. Who wins the Women's Rumble tonight? Sunday.
I really don't know. Maybe Bailey, because she's the top heel of the company. I mean, that's
Okay.
what I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad... listen, she had the belt for so long, gave it up to Sasha, all that sort of thing, so there's a story there, right? So they could do something like
Yeah,
that.
and they could go back to that again. So, not sure how
Tell me, Joe, you don't want this sexy face as champion.
Well, I mean, it's not up to me. It's really up to the people.
The people want Bullfrog as champion.
Do they?
Casey looks disgusted.
Yes.
I don't know, but
Casey, I'm more sexier than you.
I don't know.
That's
You're both pretty
debatable.
sexy.
Why don't you
gotta battle the
guys
sexy
smile? I'm going to
going
take a
on here.
photo of you guys for a thumbnail. Look into the camera and smile. Go ahead. There you go. Look at that. Look at that beautiful. Now make angry faces. Make really angry faces like you're mad. Make faces like someone raped your family in front of you. Yeah, look at that. Oh my God, look at this. I'm taking all these photos right now.
Now look shocked and surprised, like someone just fingered your asshole at a supermarket.
Oh my God, these photos I'm getting are amazing. Wait till you
That's perfect.
Wait till you see these photos, Jake. Oh my God, it's like I could be a photo director. Like I could work in a photo shop with people.
Yeah, you should be.
Yes.
More,
Oh my God.
more, less, exciting, beautiful.
Yes, I could really do a good job with that.
I'm shocked that Bullfrog has any other emotions than this.
Yeah, I'm shocked too. Really.
Casey, that's the only emotion you got.
Yeah, I mean, this is really what a weird group here. Now we're gonna just play some of those photos for everybody now on the screen, so you guys can see what a great photo shoot that was. And let's just go ahead and yes, look at that, beautiful right there. Look at that. Go ahead. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Look at that. Now let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and play some music behind that. Okay, here we go. We got it. Here we go.
Fully erect.
There we go. Look at that. This is looking beautiful right now. People are going to come watching this right now. There's people out there that are getting themselves off for the first time ever in their lives to this. Oh, it's so beautiful. Everybody, look at this.
You can play with the Bullfrog.
Yeah, get down, you crackers. Look at these crackers. Yeah. Which one of them raped somebody? I bet you both of them.
Come on, Jake, dance with me.
Oh, yeah, go Friday night and the lights are low.
Come on, Jake, shake that booty.
Place to go.
The winner of the Royal Rumble receives a child.
It's gonna be Casey that receives the child.
I'm gonna have to steal something from someone from the chat. Do you think Bullfrog is the son of Vader? He's just not gonna get.
No, I've been saying that for I've been saying that for a year. The second I saw Bullfrog, I said, "Bro, are you fucking did Vader rape your mother?" Like I thought. I'm serious. Like I thought maybe Vader, like, because he was always on the road. I mean, he probably banged some hogger, some big hog, sweat hog, and I think that's Bullfrog's mom. I mean, I listen. Swear to God.
Yeah, I think Vader did bang my mom.
I think so too. I'm gonna have to hit up Vader's son, who runs his account now.
And it says right here, better known by his ring name, Big Van Vader, or simply Vader, the American professional wrestler, born. It goes along his debut, lines up. Actually, he was in the town where your mom lived the same year you were born. So,
oh my God, see this?
He happened to be just wrestling for American Wrestling Association. He was for the AWA. So, I mean,
wow.
Look at that. He didn't even fully debut on TV yet. But he was going by the name Baby Bull back then. Baby Bull.
Bro.
That's right.
Baby Bull all over your mom's face. And
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
He plowed. He power bombed her.
Frog splashed your clit. That's more like it.
Look at this. Here you go. Here he is. He's right here. This is your entrance music. This is both your entrance music. The new tag team. Ladies and gentlemen, about to come down the aisle, weighing at a total combined weight of 755 pounds. The Twin Rapists.
Oh, come on, Joe.
You need a woman screaming in the background. Like, help me, stop. Someone call the police. Like, that's what we need over the entrance music.
Well, the fact of the matter is, this tag team has been dominant all year on every playground around America, and in every break-in that they've committed, they've successfully penetrated at least several male and female victims, and they've made it all the way here to Rapomania, where they have combined for a total of 77 felonies and 7 deaths and 1 prolapsed asshole. Bullfrog and Casey is raw. These guys are nothing to mess around with as they come down to the ring weighing a stunning over 700 pounds. Can you imagine what's going to happen when they step in the ring? This is an unbelievable Rapomania.
Awful submission, the acquittal.
No doubt about it.
And Casey goes into black screen.
Look at them in all their glory.
Cause they raping her buddy out here.
We lost the champ.
Unbelievable.
Champ had to go, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll get him back.
We lost the champ, man. He couldn't be a part of this. But
That's
what
because he's scared of Bullfrog.
No, I don't think so. He's scared.
He's scared of me.
Afraid of the stench, Bullfrog. He's running.
It's the smell.
That's right. You better run, Casey. I'm coming for you.
Listen, there's a
not cat urine. It's the cat spray. When they're not
there is
spayed
a
or neutered,
nasty
that smell they make. Yeah, that's
there's a
horrible.
nasty smell that comes from you that nobody wants to deal with.
Did you just donate to Joe?
All right,
Did you just donate
Colonel
to
Santos.
Joe?
Colonel Santos.
Colonel.
Buenos noches, senor.
Because you donated, I'm going to feast.
Dude, I actually have Spanish for Gringos. I have it on my bookshelf right now. I didn't even know I had that book.
Colonel Santos tipped $3. WTF Bianca Belair blocked you?
She did.
Fuck that spooky villain.
Oh
bitch.
no, my
I
God!
hope she falls into
You
a pit of spikes.
Oh my
People
God!
these days, honestly, don't you fucking dare disrespect Joe Cronin.
Wow.
The GOAT.
Racist.
BTW, did you see the football fan masturbating on YouTube live stream?
Oh my God. Okay, so I have not seen that. Listen, I don't know what's up with the Hispanics, but them and the blacks, they just don't get along. In the
version of monetize.
Oh, shit.
Monetize that. I'm kinda
oh
fat.
my God!
You can
Holy
monetize
hell.
that. I'm kinda fat. Tommy NC. Buy me a mask. Tommy NC. I'm kinda fat. Monetize that. Buy me a mask. Buy me a mask. Buy me a mask. Do you have
Oh my God!
$150? Buy me a mask. Would you please buy me a mask? Buy me a mask. I can ask. Buy me a mask.
Oh
Tommy
my
NC.
God!
And I'm kinda fat. Monetize that. Buy me a mask. 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 A pyroclastic flow. I don't like blacks. Pyroclastic flow. I don't like blacks. Ask me that. Ask me this. Monetize that. Monetize that. Can I get a mask from Tommy NC? I'm fat. I'm fat. Can I get a mask?
Moss
Can I get a mask? Can I get a mask? I want a mask. Can I ask? Can I get a mask?
Moss Blaze tipped $150. The best
Fuck
view
yeah.
on YouTube wrestling Joe Wolfpack Cronin Jake Big Sexy DeMarco.
Wow.
All I gotta say is Royal Rumble will not be as good as Bash Break, Palm Tree. Also I'm the best damn ref in the community and will be monetize this champ one day. Today
Yeah,
was a
Moss
good day.
You gotta get by me first.
Oh boy, look out for! Oh my
You're
God!
barely a preschool hurdle. He's going to the Olympics.
We got to
Moss
put
Blaze. Thank you.
Moss Blaze just took over the top dog spot. Like he just ate it. He just tore it up.
Decimated.
Thank you
that
so
whole
much, Moss
spot.
Blaze, man. That's
I want to
fucking crazy.
decimate Casey.
Jesus,
You
sexually,
know
like
what's crazy? I didn't get the belt yet, and then like the next day, everyone started coming out of the woodworks. I want that belt, Casey.
wow.
That's what happens.
First it
Casey,
came. First it was Bullfrog, then it was like a billion other people said they're coming
Hey, if it
out
wasn't
the
for
ring.
J-Man for Casey, I would be champion right now, you bald-headed fuck.
Oh wow. I mean, no, wouldn't Himmelgod be champion? It'd be Himmelgod, wouldn't it?
Exactly. It'd be him a god.
No,
Yeah.
no, it'd be Bullfrog.
Yeah,
Just let
but
him go with it. That's his
Himmelgod's
dream.
like the fucking Brock Lesnar of the community. He just shows up when he wants to.
Well, let me.
Okay.
After seeing this show, Leaping Lizard has announced that after seeing this show, Joe Biden has decided to legalize abortions, like
There we
all
go.
across the whole world. Yeah.
There we go.
Casey's
after
got
it.
an
Did some
abortion
good.
for somebody.
All right. Well, listen,
Well, is
man.
it already legalized?
Sort of. Listen, give me your last statements. We're going to move on to closing out the wrestling portion of the show, and we'll talk to you guys. Well, not you, Bullfrog, but we'll talk to Casey tomorrow night on Monetize This. Make sure you guys all
That's
watch
why I'm doing
Monetize
all
This
my
tomorrow
promos.
on Twitter.
That's why I can't be on the show. I'm doing all my promos now, Joe.
I get it. Do them on Twitter. Do them here. I'll play them. I'll play them on. I'll play them on.
I can do on Saturdays and Tuesdays.
All right, listen, Moss Blaze with $150. Boys, give me your closing statements really quickly here, and then me and Jake are going to close out the wrestling.
I'll let Bullfrog go first.
Go ahead, Bullfrog.
All right, Casey. I have got to rock bottom you.
Thank you so much, Bullfrog. Appreciate that, brother. Let me say, put it over to the champ.
The one, the only, Casey.
Now, Bullfrog, you go fuck your own niece now.
Oh, my God! Oh, no.
That's your champ, ladies and gents.
That's right.
Hold that title up high.
That's right.
Oh, my God. The monetize this champion, Casey, is raw. And that certainly was raw from him just then. Thank you, Casey, for being here. Really appreciate that. That was great. Jake, any closing stuff wrestling-wise?
That was
crazy.
We covered the entire Rumble and every other bit of news that we had. That is it for now. And we will obviously talk more this weekend. We'll be live, I'm sure, like we usually are before the Rumble. Sometime Sunday, I will have my Rumble Pick'em contest going up. So you leave a comment, and I will assign you a number. If that number wins, guess what? You win. You win a prize. So it's pretty fun. People enjoyed it in years past. They got some good stuff. We'll see if we're going to do it for the men's or women's or both Rumbles. I'll let you know. Depends on what my broke ass can do.
I can't wait to
look
see
out
it.
for that on my channel on Sunday.
Fuck off. Somebody said, fuck. Dude, what's that from? That's from something that's fucking hilarious. Oh, I know what it is. It's from Howard Stern Private Parts when...
yeah, Private Parts.
Yeah, Imus. He's like, Howard wants to see you or whatever. And he's like, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Yes. Man, Howard Stern now is Imus. Hilarious how we become what we hate.
how that's changed.
So bizarre. Leave a like down below, guys. Stick the thumb up my ass. And big shout out to Moss Blaze, man, for putting this show over with the 150 bomb. Soundwave 92.
True sexy bastard.
My Royal Rumble, guys. I might be doing a live reaction to the Rumble this Sunday. I think I might do that. I'm gonna have to. It may be a last minute call, but traditionally, since I've moved into this place, I think every year since I've moved into this place, I've done a watch along on the Rumble. I think so. I'll go back and watch the last couple of years, see how much fun we had, and I think we did have a lot of fun. And
last year we had a great time.
Yeah.
Last year was like one of the highlights for me.
You were here last year.
Yep.
But
the year before I left for surgery.
And the year before I was just I think I was in the other part of the basement actually watching it from my phone. But now the donation app now is just broken. They updated the fucking donation app, and ever since...
Oh, for mobile?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not the only one to say that.
No, yeah, that's why I'm like, how did they not get complaints about this? I saw Drew had a problem with it the other day, and I've had a problem with it like 5 times in a row. Just so many things, man. Unbelievable stuff, guys. Hope you leave a like down below, and if you can, become a patron, guys. We are gonna have we have had 20 hours of bonus content this month. I like to say 30 hours every month. We've only had 20, so we got 10 hours to make up for. But listen, I'm telling you, man, we have a lot of content on Patreon, a lot of behind the scenes, and I'm really looking to find out what you guys want me to add on Patreon. I need to hear from you guys more in the comments and stuff. Let me know, what is it you really, really want on Patreon? I think you want me and Jake. I think you want After Dark with me and Jesse. I think you like Drew and Jesse. And obviously everybody likes Corrupted a bit. And people like my solo podcast a little bit. What else do you want? Please let me know. Let's say it on Patreon. Harass the shit out of me on Patreon. Write it down below. Give me more of this. Give me more of that. Give me more of this. Give me more of that. I like this. Da, 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 da. Tell me.
I've been asked
a
while
please.
ago, and I think I might have to make it stick. But you know, I've been told before that I really need to bring back my single podcast and have some fun with it. So maybe that'll have to be a Patreon exclusive for JCS.
That'd be
People
sick,
want it,
dude.
Let Joe know, and that'd be good.
Oh, I want it. I would say yeah to that without anybody else saying it, because I'd take it.
There we go.
I mean,
So
I want to do...
Maybe that's something... We still got ours on our own, but it's good to keep motivated, and I don't have enough motivation to do stuff on my channel at this point, because YouTube sucks with all their little changes, so... Well,
that'd be great, man. I mean, I'd love it if you had 20-minute little clips of you ranting on or going into something or whatever, people ask you questions, and... You know, that'd be cool. I'd definitely do that, man. If you can do that, do that.
It'd be fun. So hit us up on Twitter and let us know what you want. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to hear? And we'll make it happen. We can have more Jake and Joe, obviously more off the rails. I don't know if Too Spooky's coming back, but that was always requested and liked and enjoyed. So we'll see, but...
Yeah, I talked to Leah earlier, and it looks like me and her are going to record our podcast, so we'll have...
There we go.
Me and Leah will be having it go up soon. The reason why me and Leah haven't done ours as much and why Leah and Monica aren't doing it, really, the real reason is this remote learning is just listen, it's kind of taking a toll on Leah because
it's hard with one kid. I can't imagine doing it with 3.
Yeah, with the 3 kids, I mean, Finn isn't in school, but the other 2 are. Leah,
that's even worse because then you have to keep him individually
Yes.
occupied while the other 2 are trying to learn. And
Right.
The online schooling is disastrous.
Dude, it's just so rough. And then by the time Leah doesn't get done with all the kids, okay, Leah wakes up at 7, gets the kids up, gets everything going, and then has to keep getting the kids on the remote calls and get everything going while she takes care of Finn too. And I hang out with the kids and take care of Finn too. And then Leah also cleans, cooks, cleans stuff. Then I clean things. I mean, dude. So it's just like by the time it's 5 p.m., she just kind of wants to relax a bit.
You don't even really have the luxury of like, hey, we had a long day today. Let's run to, a restaurant for dinner at this point or something. Because you can't go out to eat.
We haven't been to a restaurant in a while.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a year at this point, and all the kids are cooped up in the house. They're not seeing family. They're not seeing friends.
That's right. Ed's View. Once Upon a Time, Jake. People want me to do Once Upon a Time. If you guys,
that's right,
guys. If you don't know what Once Upon a Time does, on Patreon, I actually watch a porn. And I react to it, and I like describe it and talk about how weird it is or whatever.
I have to find this one because somebody sent it to me the other day as a joke, and I want to search and find the full porn of it, but it was just a nude porn model in a van kidnapping guys off the street and randomly having sex with them. But it was the funniest goddamn thing. It has to be set up because if it's not, it'd be ludicrous. But
yeah, it'd be black
for her
market.
just to literally be in a tinted windowed van. Pull up to somebody, open the window or the sliding door, and just grab them in and pull them in and start having sex with them.
Oh, my God.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
Talk Spooky to me is a racist title. Yeah, it kind of is. The weird thing about Talk Spooky to me is the ghosts are like wicked white. Like the ghosts are super white because they're all
white.
They're all
That's
ghosts.
The problem. You can't have a black ghost.
That's what I never understood that. But
is that a poltergeist?
I think, dude, listen, Monica and Leah did a good job. I liked it. I'm sad that they don't. And it's mostly just because Leah's like dead by 6 p.m. She's like, I don't fucking fuck everything. Like, she's just been so tired, man. I mean, these kids got to go back to school, man. I think they are going to be remote for the rest of the year, but I think that next year they're 100% going back. I believe, and they have to. It's just fuck it. We get it. We get it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Bullfrog can make Talk Spook to me. That would be.
Bullfrog can make
podcast.
Talk fucking heart disease to me. That's what he can make.
You and Bullfrog reviewing a porn. Now that would be funny.
That'd be nice.
Get him on as a guest for Once Upon a Porn.
We would love to have it. Shit bomb. Casey is raw.
You become
or Once Upon a Time.
The champ is on hold on Discord.
Oh, that was from earlier. We got him on.
That was a little while ago.
Whoops. Casey, sorry, man. Thank you, though. We got you on, though, so it worked out. We got Casey on. He's here. It's good to go. And we love you. Thank you to Casey is Raw. Thank you to everybody else in the chat. And got to go out to a little bit of Little V Mills.
Count me in the Rumble.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, he's announced himself. Karrion Kross is coming to the Rumble, potentially.
Yeah, there we go.
Karrion Kross, can you believe that? With a clothesline. No, I'm just kidding.
He separates his shoulder again. He's out. That's it.
No. Shut the fuck up, Jake. No. Oh, eat yourself alive. Guys, I might be streaming on Twitch, too, in the next coming couple days. Maybe even later tonight. I don't know. Twitch.tv/EvilSpectrum3. Make sure you guys follow me and maybe sub me on Twitch. That'd be nice. And I'm going to probably stream a little Diablo and shit like that on Twitch again. I haven't streamed on Twitch in... Fuck, man. It's been 3 weeks. I don't know. I have to go back to Twitch and stream a little bit. It's been rough. I don't know. I've been so beat up. All right, so I'm back to say goodnight really quickly as I rebooted my computer very quickly. And none of the donation things are up, so they're not popping up. So hopefully nobody, I mean, not hopefully, because, I mean, listen, we could definitely use money, but hopefully nobody did donate so they don't get missed. But I do see Spirit Infinity's super chat, and that I can at least show on the air. Joe Cronin to win the Rumble and challenge for monetize this title at Mania. That'd be cool, Spirit Infinity Roy. That'd be cool. Shout out to Spirit Infinity Roy, man, for that last $5 drop on the super chat, man. Yeah, my computer crashed. Thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys for the support. I can't thank you guys enough for what you guys do for supporting me and Jake and everybody else on the shows and going and supporting everybody that I work with and everything we do and everybody who helps me, man, and giving love and all honesty. We like to have a lot of fun. We like to be savage here, but super thankful for what you guys do every time I stream. Every time I stream, man, and when I'm doing Q&As and little streams here or there, and you guys come in and drop 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks and make every stream valuable to me, there's no other fucking community like this that is so fire. So, man, I just can't thank you guys enough. So, like, seriously, thank you guys very, very, very much for allowing me to do this. It was so good this last couple weeks. I was able to avoid doing tons. I was going to work all this overtime at my other job and stuff, and I was able to focus more on fixing the stuff around the house I needed to fix and spending more time with my kids, and then getting the PC I thought fixed, but since it crashed, I guess it's not fixed. But anyway, I just wanted to say a little thank you at the end here. Little love letter thank you at the end. Little dick sucking at the end. Thanks to Botch Club, who's always there. Thank you to Title Match Wrestling and Title Match Wrestling Network for being sponsors. Botch Club as well for being a sponsor. And all of you guys for being really big sponsors. Even, you know what I mean? You guys are funding everything. We made $160 in ad revenue. That's it in the month. 300,000 views. $100. That's crazy. I know people who are getting about the same views and they're bringing in $600, $800 in ad revenue. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong with ad revenue. Could be the language and that stuff. You know, there could be that. But, yeah. Great stuff. A shout out to everybody else. Moss Blaze, Joe and Jake, guys, better days are coming. I hope so, Moss Blaze. And thanks to everybody who's been hitting the membership button down below and becoming a member. I think my goal was maybe to get us back to 100 members or more. Not a big deal, but it's just something fun to do. Let me see how many members we have now. It's just something fun to do, and I'm going to do a members-only stream, I think maybe tomorrow. So if you guys want to be a part of that, I don't do a lot of them because it does piss off people who aren't members because they're like, what the fuck, I can't talk. But it is something to do important to have something like that going. So just I hope you don't get mad with me when we do them because you can't chat. It's a way to also try to get some of the filter of the messages. You know what I mean? We're not. I mean, yeah, it's also an upsell, you know, obviously, but it's also it has a meaning behind it too. And so we will do them. So just have a heads up that will happen. But don't be upset about it. You know, it does help fund the show, you know, in the end. And then you guys can hear more content and stuff like that. So even though it's kind of a bummer that you can't chat if you're not a member, you know, it really does help the show. So we do have 45 members. So you guys, there's 45 of you who are members. And so that's really cool, you guys. 45 of you are members. That generates almost as much revenue as the ads. Since the ads last month generated $160, the 45 members, you guys generated $141 for me and us here. So thank you guys very much for that. And hopefully we can try to get the number to 100. I'd love to hit that 100 goal. That's my attempted goal. But I'll have to work on providing better content for all you guys in the coming weeks and providing a better show and more content and more of the stuff you guys want to see. So keep telling me about stuff you guys like. Keep telling me about stuff you want to see. I'm going to be starting to do those videos again where I reminisce about old situations and moments that were like 1 minute to 5 minute long videos, maybe 10-minute long videos. People really like that. It didn't do well in the algorithm for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I don't know, you guys liked it. So the bad thing was the algorithm didn't like it, but you guys loved it. But not a lot of you guys loved it. It was like 600 to 1,000 of you liked it. So, you know, I don't know. I'm working on all those things. Are all things I threw out. I'm going to try to innovate, try to do some better stuff for you. Please let me know what you like. You know, if you ever think like, man, what the fuck? I wish Joe would do that, man. I'm sort of sick of this. Why won't he do that? I love that. Like, email me, message me, tell me. Even if, like, for some reason I don't respond back to you because maybe shit's going crazy. I'm very bad with that. But I might read the message. So, like, it might go into my head, like, okay, there's another guy that said that. Or, like, so I try to respond to you. But if I don't, and I'm, like, speed reading through, like, hundreds of messages, I'll at least start getting the message. So let me know, man. I'm not going to get mad. So I'm never going to get mad at you if you're like, yo, I think this sucks, but I love that. And listen, if you say you think something sucked but you like that, and then I'm like, well, I get what you're saying, but so many people like that even though you don't like it, it's still worth it to do it, so I'm still going to do that. But if I know stuff that you like, I'll think about it. So I'll consider everything, no doubt about it. So keep bringing it on, keep telling me, and thank you guys for the support, man. And thanks to Jake for being here always, man. Jake is always fucking killing it. And everybody else who's been supporting the show since 2012. It's crazy. Andale Peasy says, the Brothers of Broken Rubbers. That donation did not play because we must have gone off the air when that happened. Carrion Cross and then Randy Viper said, the intern champ Casey and the future champ Bullfrog. Wow, he really likes Bullfrog. Andale Peasy says, the Brothers of Broken Rubbers. That's pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny shit. Let me just make sure no one else donated. I mean, I just don't want to accidentally run into anything. I think we got everybody. I also want to bring up the fact that our leadership right now is pretty crazy on the leaderboards on Elements. The leaderboard's pretty nuts. Fuck the WWE is in first place with a $500 donation, man. Thank you so much to whoever that was. F the WWE. He dropped a $500 bomb the other night on Raw, on the Raw review. I'm going to isolate that dono and play it later, too. Duncachino, $219. He's got the silver trophy. And Moss Blaze with the 158 total. This is this week alone. For the month, we could go to Squitman dropped a hundy on Monetize This. Squitman, Starship, John Wills, Stone Cold Saleh, Colonel Santos is in 8th, Stephen Gurman in 9th, D. Welsh is in 10th, and F the WWE, Duncachino, and Mos Blaze. Top spots there. So shout out to those men for that. And that's about all. I think I put everything over I can put over. Everybody in the chat good? Are we good with everything? Do we have fun? Thank you, man. Pity Gang Gaming, thank you, dude. You guys are the shit, man, in all seriousness. I know that sometimes, I come off like a weirdo, but I'm a pretty fucking dorky normal person. I mean, I'm not normal at all. I take that back. But, I'm just I'm lucky to have what we have here. And we appreciate it, man. And keep it up. We'll have a good time. And I think I'm out of here, bro. Good night. Stay safe, everybody. Royal Rumble 21. I did put up a video on Corrupted Nation for the little political stuff that went on today. It's a little song. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Leave me feedback. Hate it, love it, whatever. Share your thoughts, even if you don't like it or love it. Share your thoughts on what's going on in the stock market. It's all in my video on Corrupted Nation right now. Subscribe to Corrupted Nation, Shame on News, and Evil Spectrum 3. Mwah, kisses. I'll see you on Twitter, where I bitch and act like an idiot. At JCS Commentary on Twitter. Shout out to Kenny Omega, Little V Mills, and AEW Tony Khan cutting a promo with Impact Wrestling.